Chapter 26-28. If that's the case, then I'll get straight to the point. I heard you look like my mommy, so I came to see you. Little Bean looked at her with hostility. Huh. You sure are curious. Zhang Manlin sneered. Lin Lin, play with Little Bean for a bit. Huh, we're busy. The older women didn't know what was going on, so they left Little Bean to Zhang Manlin. Hello, Aunt Zhang Manlin, what did you call me? Oh, no, I should say, hello, Zhang Manlin's period. I'm so happy to see you today. By the way, Mommy always taught us that we can't visit people empty-handed. I thought about it and thought that it would be better to buy some flowers because I think the aura of these flowers matches your aura. Then, Little Bean reached into her pocket and took out the flowers she got from her sister. My aura? Zhang Manlin crossed her arms in front of her chest and looked arrogant. In fact, she wasn't like this before. But later, Hua Xiqian told her to imitate Hua Min, and one of the reasons was that Hua Min was very arrogant. So, Zhang Manlin gradually got used to it. But what she didn't know was that Hua Min's arrogance was mighty and domineering, which made people happy. Her arrogance, on the other hand, was purely the kind of arrogance that got slapped in the face. They weren't even on the same level. At this moment, it wasn't an exaggeration to say that she was imitating Hua Mian. I think your aura is enough to support a brothel. Little Bean finished her sentence. The older women around them almost burst out laughing. Zhang Manlin's expression changed drastically. Is that what your mommy taught you? Oh, no, my bad. Huh. I mean, even a brothel can't show off your perfect aura, Zhang Manlin. She was smarter than Lu Zhe. She could tell at first glance that this kid was not here to show goodwill. He was definitely here to cause trouble. Just as she had expected. Ha ha ha, Little Bean, you're so funny. You don't look like your mommy and daddy. An older woman chimed in. I'm a genetically mutated species. I'm different from my daddy and mommy. I'm different from my twin sister, Little Bean said proudly. Little Bean's words made everyone burst into laughter. Zhang Manlin stood at the door, annoyed. She walked back to her desk and ignored Little Bean. Little Bean dug around for a long time before she finally took out the chrysanthemum that had been crushed beyond recognition. Auntie Zhang, flowers for you. I hope you'll be in a good mood every day. Little Bean began the routine that her sister had taught her. How can I be in a good mood when you're giving me chrysanthemums? Kid, are you doing this on purpose? Zhang Manlin pulled a long face. Who said that? I've checked the language of flowers. White chrysanthemums represent nobility and purity. Auntie Zhang, don't you admit that you're noble and pure? Could it be that he's evil and sinister? You. Zhang Manlin didn't expect Little Bean to be so sharp-tongued. However, the flowers were squashed by my bag. They really don't look good, so I helped you pluck them and turn them into petals for you. Then, she plucked the flower petals and sprinkled them on Zhang Manlin's head. Immediately, the white flowers scattered all over her head. Everywhere was filled with white flowers. Zhang Manlin was furious. What the hell are you doing? Do you want me to call your mommy over to teach you a lesson? When she was angry, she naturally opened her mouth. Little Bean took the opportunity and stuffed something into her mouth. She was so fast that Zhang Manlin didn't even have time to react. While he was talking, he swallowed the thing in one gulp. Kid, what did you feed me? Zhang Manlin was going crazy. Chapter 26-29. Little Bean reached into her pocket and took out a white, fleshy worm. Everyone's expression changed. She said slowly, oh, no. I think I took the wrong one. I was going to give you the mealworm. I heard that it's very nutritious, and it will gradually become protein. It will make you more beautiful, Auntie Zhang. But I was anxious and wanted to give you a surprise, so I took the wrong one. So what did you give me? Zhang Manlin roared. I think it's a one-horned worm that I caught in the grape trellis in the back garden this morning. They're all about the same size, and they're all fleshy. So maybe it's... I'm so sorry, Auntie Zhang. But don't worry, I did a background check and it's not poisonous. You'll be fine. After Little Bean finished speaking, Zhang Manlin opened the door and ran to the bathroom as fast as she could. She vomited until she was dizzy. All the women in the office were dumbfounded. Some of them even had goosebumps. They thought Little Bean was just joking and didn't expect her to go so far. Little Bean, how can you treat Auntie Zhang like that? A woman tried to persuade her. I'm being too nice to her. She's just a bitch who used plastic surgery to look like my mommy and tried to seduce my daddy. Does she expect me to treat her like a good person? Little Bean decided not to pretend anymore and directly exposed the truth. Everyone fell silent when they realized what was going on. Zhang Manlin won't last long, and she won't have a good ending. You guys, don't be too nice to her. Most importantly, if you get too close to her, you might be affected if something happens to her in the future. Don't be like the fish in the moat, understand? Little Bean looked around. Then, Little Bean took a tissue from Zhang Manlin's desk, wiped her hands, and turned to leave. But after a few steps, she suddenly thought of something. She reached into her bag, took out a small thing, and placed it on Zhang Manlin's chair. Then, she took her cushion and covered the little thing. Everyone saw what Little Bean had done. I don't want anyone to tell her about this, or else, it's easy for my mommy to fire someone from the finance department. I know you're wondering why I'm so vicious at such a young age, but it's okay. My sister and I were born different from other people, and will be different in the future. As long as we know what we're doing, thank you for your cooperation. Then, Little Bean opened the door and walked out of the finance department. Oh my God, she's only 3 years old. That's scary, a female colleague exclaimed. I've heard before that the daughter of the vice principal is heaven-defying. It seems that it wasn't an exaggeration. She seems to have the logical thinking of the Lord. No, the Lord might not be that powerful. A few people were whispering to each other, Little Bean may be young, but what she said makes sense. Let's stay away from Zhang Manlin. I think that woman is bad luck. Zhang Manlin vomited for a long time. She was so worried that she even went to the cardiology department to get an X-ray. He wanted to see if there would be any problems. In the end, everything was normal. However, when he thought about eating worms, he felt disgusted. She stormed back to the office, determined to get even with the little kid. Where is she? Zhang Manlin asked. Little Bean already left, someone answered weakly. Left? Humph. I won't let this go. Then, Zhang Manlin sat down on her chair. Chapter 26:30. 3 seconds after Zhang Manlin sat down, she heard a bang under her butt. It sounded like something exploded. Then, Zhang Manlin screamed and smelled the chemical smell of firecrackers. Little Bean had placed a small firecracker under Zhang Manlin's seat. It was the kind that would explode under pressure. Luckily, it wasn't very strong and Zhang Manlin was wearing thick pants, so it only scratched her but a little. She was so embarrassed when she went to the surgery room to apply ointment. The entire left side of his buttocks was red. It was the kind that would hurt when touched. Although it wasn't a serious injury, it was deeply humiliated. Damn that kid. Zhang Manlin swore to herself. The two sisters finally met up in the car. Sis, how are you? Little Bean asked with a smile. Everything went well. How's that scumbag Luze? I poured coke on his wound. He probably has to apply ointment again. He won't be able to sleep well tonight, Pudding said nonchalantly. Huh, good job. What about you? Me. I followed the original plan and gave bitch Zhang a chrysanthemum. No, to be exact, I sprinkled the petals on her head and stuffed a meat worm into her mouth. Pudding, I went to the grape trellis in the back to look for a long time. Luckily, I found a chubby one. It must taste good, ahaha. Please don't say it, I still have lunch. Pudding was so impressed by Little Bean that she almost sympathized with Zhang Manlin. When I left, I even put a small firecracker under her seat. Ha. I think her butt is going to explode by now. Good job, Uncle Lee. Let's go, Pudding said. Yes, Mississippi. Uncle Lee took the twins back to South Hill Manor. Chinjia had been busy the whole morning and only heard about it during lunch. Pudding and Little Bean had been here. But if the vice director knew about it, he would probably, after Huamin left the bureau, he didn't go home. Instead, he went to find Wei Liao, Tang Chuan, and Jiang Xiaowei. Qin Ning arrived at noon. The five of them ate together and discussed how to help Suyu. I'm collecting evidence now. Wei Liao, the media, don't worry. Leave it to me. I'll buy the internet water army and suppress the public opinion. Wei Liao nodded. What can I do? Tang Chuan was anxious. Tang Chuan, if you have the time, you should investigate Lu Zhe's background. Hua Min said. Didn't Lord Su investigate Lu Zhe's background? No problem. I'm afraid they won't be able to find anything. Tang Chuan was stunned. I don't want you to just investigate Lu Zhe. You should find out who he's been in close contact with over the years, especially women. I don't believe that he hasn't been in a relationship at his age. He doesn't look gay. You have a lot of connections and friends in the circle. Maybe you can find something. Oh, I understand. Okay, leave it to me. Tang Chuan nodded. At the same time, he admired Hua Min's wisdom. Mian, how can I help? Jiang Xiaowei asked. Xiaowei, there's been a lot going on at home lately. Mr. Qin and I, well, it's a long story. We don't want the kids to see us fight at home. Can you take this weekend off and take care of Pudding and Little Bean for me? I want to focus on Lord Su. That's easy. I'll pick them up after work on Friday. Okay. After lunch, Hua Min was driving home when he received a call. He looked down and saw that it was Hua Xiqian's number. What are you up to now? Hua Min asked him directly. Chapter 2631. Mian, I'm so jealous. He said. Jealous of what? Hua Min furrowed his brows slightly. I used to be jealous of Qin Chu, and now I'm jealous of Suyu. Why are you so nice to everyone but me? Hua Xiqian sounded a little sad. When he found out that Hua Min was constantly running around for Suyu, he actually felt a little sad. It wasn't just jealousy, it was also sadness. In short, his feelings were very complicated. Hua Xiqian, do you still not understand at a time like this? Hua Min asked faintly. Understand what? I'm nice to Suyu because Suyu is nice to me as well. Friendship is mutual. No one can enjoy other people's kindness without reciprocating. I don't agree with you. I'm nice to you as well, even nicer than Suyu, but you're nice to me. Hua Xiqian paused. Is that what you're nice to me? Hua Min asked back. Isn't it? Of course not. Your kindness is selfish and built on your happiness. As long as you're happy, you don't care if I'm sad or not. So, it's not nice. Suyu is different. He stands on my side and considers everything for me. He's a very trustworthy friend, but you're not. You only know how to possess, destroy, and drive a wedge between us. Huh. Do you think that even if I don't drive a wedge between you and Qin Chu, nothing will happen between you and Qin Chu? Hua Xiqian sneered. It doesn't matter if there's something going on between us. I won't forgive you just because you interfered. It's that simple. Hua Xiqian, you're in your 30s. Don't be so irrational and immature, okay? But Mian, I love you very much. Hua Xiqian blurted out, but Hua Min was already calm. I don't want your love. I can't take it. You can. You're the only one in the world who can take it. Mian, be a good girl and leave Qin Chu, okay? He doesn't really love you. He's hiding a lot of things from you. It's just that you don't know. If you knew, You wouldn't be as stupid as you are right now, Hua Xiqian coaxed Hua Min like he was coaxing a child. Save it. Don't do something so childish. I won't believe you. I'll always trust Qin Chu unconditionally. No matter what he does or what he's hiding from me, he'll always be the man I love the most. It's easy to get lost in life. I used to be very conflicted about how to choose between Qin Chu and me. But once I make up my mind, I'll never turn back. That's how I conduct myself. So, Hua Xiqian, stop talking. No matter what you say, I won't change my mind, Hua Min said word by word. Ha. Hua Xiqian chuckled in a low voice. Hua Min didn't respond because he didn't know what Hua Xiqian was going to say next. My silly girl. But it's good. It's because of your stubbornness that I'm deeply moved by. My little sister Mian. Without you, I think my life would be very boring. So, no matter what, I'll do my best and find a way to be with you. Hua Xiqian had made up his mind. Then bring it on. Qin Chu and I will fight you one day, Hua Min said coldly. Wrong, you're wrong. Hua Xiqian's tone was exceptionally gentle. Chapter 2632. This battle has never been between Qin Chu, you, and me. It's between you and me. Hua Xiqian said in a low voice. The first time he saw Hua Mian, everything was destined to happen in the future. Therefore, instead of saying that it was a battle between Qin Chu, Hua Min, and Hua Xiqian, it was better to say that it was a battle between Hua Min and Hua Xiqian. I don't want to argue with you, it's meaningless. Hua Min was about to hang up the phone. Mian, you should spend as much time with your daughters as possible, right? Hua Min's heart skipped a beat when she heard this. Then, she shouted angrily, Hua Xiqian, what do you want? If you dare to touch my daughters, I'll kill you. Don't be impulsive. I know you love the twins to the core. I won't touch them, don't worry. Then what did you mean by what you said just now? Hua Min began to feel uneasy. After all these years, based on her understanding of Hua Xiqian, no matter how crazy he was, he wouldn't say something like this. Nothing, I'm just worried that if you guys separate, you'll miss them. That's all. My daughters and I won't separate, even if we die. After speaking, Hua Min angrily hung up the phone. After Hua Min hung up the phone, she realized why she was so angry. This wasn't her style at all. Ever since she was pregnant with Heir Bao, she had become very emotional. It seemed like pregnant women had a hard time controlling their emotions. She drove with one hand on the steering wheel and gently touched her flat belly with the other. Baby, don't be afraid. No matter what, you have to be with mommy and daddy. Our family will be together forever. Although Hua Min said this, she had a feeling that something big was going to happen. She had a nagging feeling that something big was about to happen. Her heart was hanging in suspense, especially after hearing what Hua Xiqian had just said. She was even more flustered. Just as she was about to call Mr. Qin, she remembered that they were still in the middle of a cold war, and the car might have been bugged. Therefore, he put down his phone and drove straight to South Hill Manor. Mommy, you're back? Little Bean ran over and took the initiative to bring her mother a new pair of slippers. Emicham, were you good today? Hua Min still didn't know that the twins were going to South Side. Good. My sister and I have always been good, Little Bean answered straightforwardly. Is Daddy back? She came back, changed her car, and went out again. Pudding said calmly. Then, did he say where he went and when he'll be back? He didn't say. Pudding answered. Oh, okay. Hua Mian nodded, picked up her bag, and was about to head upstairs. Mommy, don't worry. That woman Zhang Manlin won't dare to show off anymore. I already taught her a lesson for you, Little Bean said quickly. What? Hua Mian stopped in her tracks and turned to look at her daughter. Pudding's heart skipped a beat. She immediately picked up the book in her hand and covered her face with it. It didn't matter if Little Bean was quick with her words, she probably would have tricked her as well. Nothing. Little Bean just realized that her sister had told her not to tell Mommy. With Mommy's strict morals, she might get beaten up. Little Bean, what happened? Hurry up and tell Mommy. Hua-min turned around and held Little Bean's shoulders with a serious expression. I went to South Side with my sister today, and? Hua-min raised his eyebrows. And then we helped Handsome Sue deal with Lu Zhe. And we helped you deal with bitch Zhang. Oh, no, Zhang Manlin. Little Bean bit her lip and whispered. Chapter 26:33. What did you two do? Hua-min was a bit angry. She had always known that her two daughters liked to fool around, so she really didn't know what kind of trouble they were up to this time. After all, South Side was a hospital, a solemn place. Her daughters. Sigh. Hua-min didn't dare to think further. Mommy, don't be angry. I'll tell you everything. Seeing her mommy's angry expression, Little Bean was scared and regretted her big mouth. Thus, under her mother's serious gaze, she recounted everything that had happened word by word. After she finished, Hua-min didn't say anything. She just looked at Little Bean and then at Pudding. Mommy, I was wrong. You can hit me. Little Bean lowered her head. At this time, Pudding got up from the sofa and walked to Little Bean. She looked at her mommy and said, Mommy, this was my idea. Little Bean was dragged in by me. It really has nothing to do with her. Don't hit her. If you want to hit me. Wow, we have a new hero in our family. You're so loyal. Hua-min calmly glanced at Pudding. No. Mommy, don't hit my sister. She's not as fat as me. I have more meat and can take a beating. Ha ha ha. Little Bean laughed and eased the atmosphere. Pudding, why did you do that? Hua-min asked Pudding's opinion as if he was talking to an adult. Little Bean and I only taught them a lesson. We didn't do anything bad. If Mommy wants to punish us, then punish us. I have nothing to say. But I won't admit my mistake because I didn't do anything wrong. You've been telling us what's right and wrong since we were young. Now that we've met a bad guy, isn't it right to teach him a lesson? Pudding was a very calm girl. She was very rational and logical. What she said was very reasonable and persuasive. Her thoughts were clear and orderly. Not only was she eloquent, but her mind was also very flexible. For a moment, Hua-min felt as if he had seen himself in his childhood. His heart was filled with emotions. In the end, she sighed slightly. You two don't have to be nervous. Mommy doesn't blame you for this, Hua-min said. Pudding and Little Bean looked at each other in disbelief. Mommy, are you really not going to punish us? Pudding is right, you guys didn't do anything wrong. If we had to accept and forgive bad people, then the world would be a mess. Lu Zhe and Zhang Manlin are not good people, but you guys are still young. Leave it to us adults. Don't be too reckless. If you guys get hurt, your daddy and I will be worried. We won't. We have bodyguards with us. Plus, in a public place like that, even if Lu Zhe and Zhang Manlin hate us, they can't do anything to us. Little Bean smiled. You're getting bolder and bolder every day. Hua-min gently pinched Little Bean's face. Suddenly, she felt nauseous. She quickly covered her stomach with her hands and rushed to the bathroom. What's going on? Mommy, are you sick? Are you not feeling well? Little Bean was confused. I'm afraid that the scapegoat we've been waiting for is coming. Pudding was still calm. Chapter 26:34. Really? Sis, don't bully me because I'm not well educated. Pudding looked confused. Pudding didn't bother to explain. She turned around and went back to watching TV on the sofa. Hua-min went upstairs and locked the door. Then, she rushed into the bathroom and threw up. She didn't have such a big reaction when she was pregnant with twins. It had only been a month, how could she be so sick? It seemed like she had to eat less. She couldn't let anyone find out, especially Huasiqian's spies at home. Mommy will protect you. Huamian leaned against the side of the bathtub, feeling weak from all the vomiting. Inside a Western restaurant, what is it? Qin Chu glanced at Zhang Manlan's face coldly. Didn't you ask me to think about what you said? President Qin, I've made up my mind. Zhang Manlan suddenly said. So, your decision is? Qin Chu narrowed his eyes. He didn't know what Zhang Manlan would choose. I've decided to side with you. Oh, not bad. You're not that stupid. Qin Chu seemed to have expected this. But, President Qin, I have a condition. Zhang Manlan said hurriedly. You don't have the right to negotiate with me, Qin Chu refused directly, not giving her a chance to speak. I've made such a big sacrifice. President Qin, how can you not give me anything in return? I risked my life. You should know what kind of person he is. If he finds out that I betrayed him, I won't have a good ending. How much did he promise you? I'll double it. Qin Chu looked down and played with his phone, ignoring Zhang Manlan. No, I don't want money. Then what do you want? Qin Chu asked. I want to be with you, Zhang Manlan bit her lips and said word by word. After Qin Chu heard this, he raised his head and a cold glint flashed across his eyes. With me? I don't want to be Lady Qin. I know that you and Huamin won't divorce so easily. After all, there are so many things involved, and there's also a child. So, I think I can follow you without any official status, even if I can just go to your company and serve you tea and be an employee. I just want to be with you, is that okay? Zhang Manlan, how dare you say that? Qin Chu was furious. If it wasn't for the fact that this woman still had some value, he would have shot her. I'm afraid that if I don't say it now, I won't have a chance in the future. So, what will happen if I don't agree? Qin Chu asked disdainfully. Then I won't do anything, but I won't tell you anything about him. After all, I don't want to risk my life to do something like that. Very well, then I'll tell you. Listen carefully, you only have two choices. 1. Stand on my side and you have no right to negotiate with me. 2. If you don't stand on my side, I will make you disappear within 3 days. President Qin? Are you threatening me? Zhang Manlan's heart sank. What did he mean by disappear? Was Qin Chu going to kill her? She didn't expect this at all. This man, who looked so handsome and was like a god, would actually kill people as if it was his daily routine. Threaten? You can think of it that way. I've never been a kind man, so you better think carefully. Qin Chu's lips curled up mockingly. Chapter 2635. You. Zhang Manlan didn't know how to react to Qin Chu's sudden change. So, you can make a choice now. President Qin, do you not like me at all? Zhang Manlan asked shamelessly. To be more precise, she didn't know where she stood. Like you? Are you kidding me? Qin Chu looked at her as if she was a clown. But weren't you interested in me before? Zhang Manlan didn't want to give up. Are you saying that I have to fall in love with you just because you have the same face as my wife? Qin Chu asked back. President Qin, if I choose to help you, then I mean, you don't have a good relationship with your wife. Do you think I'll have the chance to be by your side? Zhang Manlan was still daydreaming at a time like this. I heard that my daughters went to see you today. Qin Chu suddenly changed the topic and talked about Little Bean and Pudding. Your daughters came to look for trouble. She messed up my office and laughed at me in front of so many colleagues. She even made fun of me and fed me bugs. Zhang Manlin complained to Qin Chu with an aggrieved face. So? Qin Chu looked calm. So, President Qin, I don't think the kids would do something like that for no reason. I think Oh, no, the vice director said something bad about me to the kids. The vice director looks like a nice person and everyone says she's kind and open-minded. But sometimes, I think she's quite scheming. Zhang Manlin was very direct and didn't even bother to be tactful. She wanted to say all the bad things about Hua Mian in one go so that she could be happy. My daughters have always been like that. If their mommy didn't keep them under control, they'd be even worse than this. So, feeding you bugs is showing mercy. Zhang Manlin, President Qin, you're from the upper class, how can you educate your kids like this? It's okay that you're so busy with work that you don't have time. Vice Director, as a mother, how can you not educate your kids? Zhang Manlin actually wanted to say that the twins were uneducated, but she didn't dare to. However, Qin Chu still understood what she meant, therefore, he retorted, my daughters are usually very obedient. They only go overboard when they meet scum. Zhang Manlin's face fell. Of course, I'm not calling you a scumbag. Little Bean probably just wants to play a prank on you. Even so, he shouldn't have gone overboard. Anyway, I don't think the child would have done that without the deputy director's instigation. When I see him at South Side tomorrow, I'll personally ask the deputy director about this. I can't let him suffer for nothing. What you should be thinking about now is which side you should stand on. Don't you think it's meaningless to think about anything else? President Qin, I don't want to be with you anymore. I just want to work at GK after this is over, okay? Zhang Manlin begged. Okay. This request was relatively simple, so Qin Chu gladly agreed. Then, I'll stand on your side. If he does anything, I'll report it to you. Okay. Then, Qin Chu stood up to leave. President Qin, the deputy director likes Su Yu. Do you really not care at all? Zhang Manlin asked unwillingly. Chapter 2636. No matter who she likes, it has nothing to do with you. After Qin Chu said this coldly, he turned around and left. After Qin Chu left, Zhang Manlin took the bus home. After making sure no one was following her, she went to Hua Xiqian. The Hua Mansion Big Brother Qian, Zhang Manlin called out politely. Hua Xiqian was standing at the bar, mixing drinks. He looked like he was in a good mood. Lin Lin, how did it go? I heard you saw Qin Chu today. Did you learn anything? Yes. Tell me about it. Hua Xiqian turned around and handed a glass of mixed drink to Zhang Manlin. Zhang Manlin took it respectfully and held it in her hands. Then, she said softly, he asked me to make a choice today. He seemed to have seen through me. Emicham, what did you say? Hua Xiqian seemed to have expected everything. I followed your instructions and pretended to be conflicted for a while. I even proposed some conditions to him, but he didn't agree. Then, I said some nonsense and finally decided to stand on his side. I betrayed you and helped him pass on the message. Did he believe you? Hua Xiqian licked his lips and asked. I'm not sure, but from his expression, I think he believed me. I made him feel that I liked him and wanted to be with him. Then, I told him that after everything was done, would go to GK to work, Zhang Manlin explained. He agreed? Hua Xiqian asked. Yeah, he agreed. Plus, Big Brother Qian, you know that I do like Qin Chu, so I'm not telling the truth. I think he believes me. Then, next. Before Hua Xiqian could finish his sentence, Zhang Manlin continued, don't worry, Big Brother Qian. I know what to do next. I'll pretend to pass him the information from you. I'll pass him the real information a few times. Once he's convinced, we'll do something big. Then, he'll lose everything. But at that time, Qin Chu will know that you are a traitor. He won't let you go, let alone be with you. Hua Xiqian said calmly. That's okay. No matter how much I like Chin Chu, I have to find the right time. Plus, Brother Qian has given me so many things that I couldn't have in the past. I can't be judged as yours. Zhang Manlin expressed her determination once again. Okay, Lin Lin, I'm sure you won't disappoint me. Hua Xiqian seemed satisfied with Zhang Manlin's reaction. I won't. Very well, then you can go back. Big Brother Qian, there's one more thing. What is it? After everything is done, you can leave with Hua Min. Chin Chu will definitely lose. Can you leave the 2 kids to me? You want the twins? Hua Xiqian asked. Yeah. To be honest, these 2 kids really pissed me off. What do you plan to do with them? Hua Xiqian continued to ask calmly. I plan to sell them and send them to the mountains in the southwest. They'll never leave the mountains. Zhang Manlin said viciously. That's a good idea. We'll talk about it after everything is settled. Okay, then I'll go now, Big Brother Qian. Then, Zhang Manlin walked out of the room happily. Boss, do you believe this woman? Are you sure she didn't betray you by Chin Chu? Ah Cheng was worried. Zhang Manlin wouldn't dare. She knows what kind of person I am. Hua Xiqian seemed very confident. Are you really going to give the kids to her? Miss Hua cares a lot about her kids. If she knew about this, I'm afraid she would. Ah Cheng thought that Zhang Manlin was too evil. She wanted to sell the twins to the mountains and ruin their lives. Chapter 2637. Kids. Huh. How could I let her have a chance to touch the kids? So you're saying, we can't let Zhang Manlin live? Hua Xiqian was very direct. Ah Cheng's expression changed slightly. Boss, you're saying, after we're done. Ah Cheng made a throat-slitting gesture. Hua Xiqian only smiled and didn't say anything else. When Chin Chu got home, it was already very late. First, he secretly went to see Gao Ran and asked him about Suyu. When he got home, it was already 11 p.m. Hua Min was already asleep. Perhaps it was because she was pregnant with her second child. Hua Min was sleeping so soundly that she didn't even know that Chin Chu had come back. After Chin Chu went back to his room, he gently hugged Hua Min from behind. Then, he felt a trace of warmth in his heart. The room was bugged. Their words would be monitored, but their movements wouldn't be. So, Chin Chu just hugged Hua Min and couldn't help but kiss her. Hua Min's body scent had always been a great temptation to Chin Chu. Just as Mr. Chin was about to pull off Hua Min's nightgown, she woke up groggily. Honey. She was about to say something. Chin Chu made a shushing gesture, reminding her that there was a bug in the house. Hua Min immediately understood and asked deliberately, Why are you home so late? Aren't you busy with Su Yu's matter? What right do you have to criticize me? You. I don't want to fight with you. Go sleep in the study, Hua Min said. Okay, if you want to sleep alone, then you can sleep in the bedroom. After speaking, Chin Chu got up and went to the study with a pillow. Then, Hua Min followed him out. As soon as Chin Chu stepped into the study, Hua Min followed. Why are you so bold? Aren't you afraid that the mole will see you? Chin Chu laughed. That Kai Yu is on vacation today. She's not home. Don't worry. Hua Min sleepily sat on Chin Chu's lap and hugged his shoulders. Then, she sleepily kissed his forehead, leaving her saliva all over his face. But Chin Chu didn't mind. Did I wake you up? You looked like you were sleeping soundly just now. Yeah, if I didn't wake up, I would have molested you. Hua Min laughed. Molested, we are legal husband and wife Hua was. PSH, that's taking advantage of you. You touched me while I was asleep. Are you sure you didn't want to take advantage of me? Honey, tofu doesn't taste good. Do you have soy milk? Chin Chu smirked. Pervert. Hua Min immediately understood what Chin Chu was talking about, and her cheeks flushed red. Honey. I want. Chin Chu licked his lips, his eyes full of lust. I can't. Why? Is your Aunt Flo here? No, it's not the right day. Chin Chu always remembered Hua Min's Aunt Flo better than herself. No, it's not because of Aunt Flo, then why is it? Because, I can't tell you now. I promise to tell you in a while, don't ask. Hua Min leaned on Chin Chu's shoulder and whined, okay. I won't ask. Can I hug you? Sure. Can I kiss you? Chin Chu kissed her lips. Yeah, sure. Hua Min answered randomly. Then, can I touch you? Chin Chu's hand slid down her body smoothly. Chapter 26:38. No. Hua Min reached out and slapped Chin Chu's hand away. Sigh, what a tough life. I can't even touch my own wife, just bear with it. This is a special time, Hua Min explained. Chin Chu thought that Hua Min was referring to the recent infighting between him and Hua Xiqian, so he didn't take it to heart. Oh right, I told Zhang Manlin everything today, Chin Chu suddenly said. What did she say? She said she's on my side, you believe her? Hua Min asked. Of course not. I think she's just putting on an act for me. Actually, she'll still tell Hua Xiqian what I tell her. Emichim, that's possible. She's pretending to betray you and giving you false information. That's it, Hua Min analyzed. So, I'm going to use her to my advantage, holy shit. That's deep. You two are playing a big game. Hua Xiqian first sent someone to get close to you, and then you pretended to betray her. She's actually still working for Hua Xiqian. She thinks you believe her, so she'll pass on information to Hua Xiqian. But when the information turns out to be false, Hua Xiqian will think that she's betrayed him and won't believe her anymore. Emichim, in the end, this woman will become an abandoned chess piece. Thinking about it like that, she's actually quite pitiful. Hua Min laughed. That's right. A person who got plastic surgery to look like you and disgusted herself by imitating your actions and habits. How could someone like that have a good ending? Whether or not Hua Xiqian kills her, I'm not going to let her live. After all, she's disgusted me for so long, Chin Chu made up his mind. Hey, Zhang Manlin's still very young. Haven't you ever fallen for her? Hua Min joked. Honey, don't joke around. I have a real one at home, why would I want a fake one? That's an apt description. Hua Min hugged Chin Chu and laughed. Stop laughing. Let's talk about Suyu. Honey, I helped Suyu clear his name because of him. Hua Min was anxious to explain. You don't have to say, I know. Honey, if I can't understand something like this, then I don't deserve to be by your side for so many years. Don't worry and go help Suyu. Leave this to me. Lu Zhe probably isn't one of Hua Xiqian's people. So, in order to avoid any more trouble, I suggest you investigate thoroughly this time and get rid of him completely. That's what I thought too. Suyu's situation isn't easy to deal with. I just saw Xiao Wei and Wei Liao tonight. Oh, right, Ning and Tang Chuan were there too. Everyone is trying to figure out a way. I saw Gao Ran today too. Suyu will be fine. Lu Zhe's small matter won't affect him. It's just that it'll affect the Su family's reputation. Emichim, Lord Su is getting old. I don't want him to continue worrying about Suyu, so I need you to solve this as soon as possible. Okay, be careful. Chin Chu kissed Hua Min's forehead. I'm fine. You're the one in danger. I've been feeling anxious lately. I keep feeling like something is going to happen. Hua Min put his hand over his heart and frowned slightly. Don't think too much. Hua Xiqian is no match for me. I didn't do anything to him before, not because I was afraid of him, but because I was worried about Ian. What about now? Ian won't leave him alone, right? Hua Min was worried. We're not afraid now. Someone is helping us deal with Ian. Chin Chu reached out and touched Hua Min's face. Honey, are you talking about our Yen? Hua Min's face was full of pride at the mention of Hua Min. Chapter 2639. Yeah, my wife's family is all incredible. Chin Chu pinched Hua Min's nose lovingly. Speaking of Yen, I really miss her. She's a girl, but she's always going through storms and storms. It's like a dream for me to live that kind of life every day. Hua Min sighed. Mian, everyone has their own way of life. There are a lot of things that we can't decide. Although Lu Yen looks like she's having a hard time, you're the only girl in the world who's doing so well. She's already at the peak of power. She has everything. She has everything. She has everything. She's a godlike existence. Have you heard from her recently? You know where she is, right? Hua Min didn't often ask about these things, but she knew that Chin Chu and Xiao Fei kept in touch. During the 4 years in the States, Chin Chu seemed to have gotten to know a lot of people. Whether it was the mafia, the rich, or even some foreign political figures, he had gotten to know them all. Hua Min felt like her husband's brain wasn't for nothing. Since he had gotten to know so many people, it meant that he would be able to use it in the future. She's been with Xiao Fei. Although Xiao Fei doesn't like to talk, he's very nice to Yen. Hua Min carefully recalled the scene of his future brother-in-law by Lu Yan's side during the spring festival. Yeah, they're definitely going to get married in the future. Chin Chu didn't want Hua Min to hold him back, so he didn't mention that Lu Yan was in Indonesia. Otherwise, Hua Min wouldn't be able to sleep well. That's good. I really hope that in the future, when everything is resolved, I can reunite with Dad and Yen and live together. Isn't that a little too hard to realize? Hua Min smiled bitterly after she finished speaking. Chin Chu hugged her and comforted her, don't worry. As long as I'm alive, I'll do my best to help you realize your dream. Pooh, don't talk nonsense. What do you mean you'll live? You'll live until you're 100 years old. Hua Min pinched Mr. Chin's face hard, as if blaming him for saying the wrong thing. She was no longer the Hua Min of the past. She could not lose him again because she was no longer as strong as before. Okay, I promise you. Chin Chu smiled gently. Okay, I'm going back to my room, honey, you're leaving just like that? Chin Chu was reluctant to leave. Even though our spies aren't here, we still have to be careful. After all, it's the final moment. We can't be careless, all right. Chin Chu also felt that what Hua Min said made sense, so he let go of her. Hua Min got up, opened the door, and walked out. From an outsider's perspective, the couple was still arguing. When Hua Min walked out, he saw Qin Ning in her pajamas coming downstairs to make coffee. Sis-in-law, Ning Ning, you're still awake? Yeah, let's talk, sis-in-law. Qin Ning pouted. Okay, let's go downstairs. Hua Min knew that there were listening devices in the bedroom, so he avoided the master bedroom and brought Qin Ning downstairs. Tell me, what's wrong? You look like you have a deep grudge. Did Tang Chuan get into a fight? Hua Min guessed. No, that idiot wouldn't dare to mess with me. Is it because of your dad's attitude towards your marriage? Hua Min asked again. Not really. Then. Hua Min was confused. Sis-in-law, did you know that Tang Chuan had a girlfriend before? Qin Ning suddenly asked. Chapter 2640. Yeah, your brother mentioned it to me. Yeah, that woman's name is Ji Ning. Yeah, I heard she's a gold digger. She married Tang Chuan's third uncle, Hua Min added. Yeah, and now they're divorced. Tang Chuan's third uncle is a pervert and a scumbag, and he found himself a young and beautiful woman born in the 90s, Qin Ning said. Could it be that Tang Chuan's ex-girlfriend came back for Tang Chuan? Hua Min guessed. How should I put it? She didn't come back for him. At least he didn't add her on WeChat, and he didn't pick up her calls. But that woman keeps appearing around us, pretending to run into us. She's a scheming bitch. She's back in the city? Yeah, she came back after the divorce. She's been showing up from time to time, and I have a feeling she's up to no good. Qin Ning pursed her lips. What are you afraid of? Tang Chuan won't even talk to her. But she's the woman he used to love. Every time I think about it, I feel uncomfortable. Qin Ning pouted. TSK. Ning Ning, are you dumb? Everyone has a past. You can't expect him to have a blank past just because you've never been in a relationship. A man's past isn't that important, because what you care about is his present and future. Otherwise, even if he doesn't have a past, you'll be upset if he cheats on you in the future. Sis-in-law, you're right. I'm being too pretentious. I'm just envious that you and my brother are childhood sweethearts. You've been each other's lover since you were young, until now. Oh, it's not as perfect as people think. I dated someone in college, and I didn't know your brother would come back, so I wanted to find someone to marry. I know. That man studied medicine too. He was your classmate in medical school, right? Well, anyway, no one's life is perfect. Ning Ning, look at the sun and moon in the sky. When they're too full, they'll immediately disappear. So, don't be so calculative. You'll be happier. Sis-in-law, I'm fine with Tang Chuan, but what about you and my brother? Do you know that my brother has already booked tickets to send us back to the States? Pudding and Little Bean are coming with us. The child is leaving too. Huamin really didn't know about this, so he was slightly stunned. You don't know? Didn't Big Brother tell you? Qin Ning was surprised. No, maybe, he forgot, Huamin said in a low voice. Sister-in-law, are you really going to divorce my brother? Qin Ning grabbed Huamin's hand worriedly. Huamin wanted to tell her not to worry, but he wasn't sure if the living room was bugged or not. So, he gave a vague answer. Ning Ning, don't be so serious. We're not like you think. We'll talk about it. Sis-in-law, don't divorce him. Think about Little Bean and Pudding. They're still so young, and they're so pitiful without a mother or a father. I've seen a lot of single-parent kids in the States, and they're really extreme. Their childhood is really important. Really, it was obvious that Qin Ning was very worried about this. Your brother has his reasons for making this decision. It's good that you and your parents leave first. We'll deal with this, and you can come back later. Huamin calmly analyzed the situation and thought that it was a good thing for the parents and children to leave. At least she and Mr. Qin wouldn't be distracted. I don't want to leave. I want to stay. How about the bodyguards escort my uncle and the children back? I want to stay with you guys. Qin Ning seemed to have made up her mind. Chapter 2641. Ning Ning, we're really fine. Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. No, I don't believe you. You two have high EQ and your words might have other meanings. I'll keep an eye on you. After chatting with Huamin, Qin Ning went back to bed. At the Hua mansion, boss, Qin Chu's parents and child are leaving. Should we? Ah Cheng asked tentatively. They won't leave. Boss, are you sure? I'm sure. They won't leave. Ha. Qin Chu doesn't want to distract himself, so he made this decision. But, it's not that simple. So, should we make the first move? Ah Cheng thought his boss wanted them to capture Qin Chu's child and parents as a threat. However, Hua Xiqian waved his hand and said, we don't need to do it. Someone will help us. Could it be that Master Ian is coming? Ah Cheng actually hated Ian very much. Ah Cheng felt uncomfortable at the thought of him drinking human blood. He even felt a chill down his spine. To him, Ian wasn't a human. He was a complete demon. Ian doesn't need to come. Just watch. The show is about to start. Let's see how Qin Chu will fight us when he loses his child. Hua Xiqian's lips curved up slightly. The next morning, Hua Min woke up early and went to South Side for a meeting. Then, he prepared to go out and continue his work on Suyu. However, he ran into Zhang Manlin at the door. What was even more infuriating was that they wore the same clothes. Zhang Manlin not only liked to imitate Hua Min's clothes, but she also practiced her every move and smile in front of the mirror for a long time. When people said that she looked like Hua Min, she wouldn't even bother to deny it. In fact, this was a morbid lack of confidence. She envied Hua Min and was even jealous of him. She wanted to be like Hua Min but didn't want to be a substitute. This was the biggest contradiction and irony. Hua Min liked to wear a beige windbreaker. It was clean and neat. Underneath, he wore a white shirt with a bow. It was very ladylike and intellectual. Underneath, he wore a pair of light blue pencil pants and black heels. He looked elegant. Coincidentally, Zhang Manlin also bought the exact same outfit when she saw how good Hua Mian's outfit was. Thus, the two of them ended up wearing the same outfit in the South Side lobby without any warning. Hua Mian raised her head and looked at Zhang Manlin. She didn't say anything, but her eyes were cold. Vice Director, what a coincidence. You also like this brand? Zhang Manlin's tone was a little arrogant. Unfortunately, you're quite rich. You can afford a windbreaker that costs more than 30,000 yuan. I think it's a waste for a rich person like you to be South Side's treasurer. Hua Min's words were full of disdain. Huh, Vice Director, you misunderstand. My family isn't very well off. I was born in the countryside. How could I have so much money? But I don't like to wear fake brands. So, I had to ask my friend to buy it for me. My new boyfriend is a young, handsome, and famous entrepreneur. He's very rich and loves me a lot. So, it's not strange for me to wear this. My boyfriend also said that he'll buy me the exact same clothes you have. Zhang Manlin's words were obviously meant to piss off Hua Min. She kept hinting that her boyfriend was Qin Chu. Chapter 2642. Before Hua Min could say anything, the nurses behind them couldn't stand it anymore. Zhang Manlin is so shameless. I heard she's really flirty in private. She seduced the vice director's husband. Yeah, I heard about it too. She's not here to work, she's here to hook up with rich people. I heard she's surrounded by rich people. She has a lot of branded bags and perfumes. With her income, she can't afford them. I think Zhang Manlin is a professional homewrecker. The vice director's husband is so stupid. She's not even pretty. Why would he keep her? Yeah, there are so many actresses under Imperial Star. Every one of them is prettier than her. Why would he hook up with her? I don't get it. Please enlighten me. Are you guys stupid? Don't you see that Zhang Manlin looks like our vice director? I heard that the vice director's husband loves the vice director a lot. But the vice director is old and has a baby. Her figure is probably not good anymore. Zhang Manlin looks like the vice director when she was young. Of course, she couldn't resist the temptation. That's why you said Zhang Manlin was easy to get along with. I think she's a scheming bitch. Yeah, a homewrecker who breaks up other people's families is shameless. The vice director is so pitiful. She's such a strong career woman. I always thought she was living a happy life. What happy life? Didn't you see the recent reports? They said they're living separately. I think they're getting a divorce. Apparently, the vice director is with young Master Su. Isn't that great? Young Master Su has always liked our vice director. He's so infatuated with her. I think they're a good match. The nurses talked among themselves. Hua Min stood there, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Rumors really shouldn't be listened to. If this continued, people would probably say he was dead one day. Looking at the arrogant Zhang Manlin, Hua Min didn't continue the topic of her boyfriend. Instead, he asked directly, "Are the bugs delicious?" Zhang Manlan's expression changed. "Don't worry, there are no pesticides in my vineyard. The bugs grow freely and are high in protein." Zhang Manlan gritted her teeth. She still felt nauseous thinking about how that little brat stuffed a bug into her mouth. Seeing the change in Zhang Manlan's expression, Hua Min smiled proudly and continued, "By the way, I heard that you haven't been feeling well lately. You have a wound on your butt. If you're feeling unwell, you can apply for a vacation from me. South Side is very humane." After a beautiful counterattack, Hua Min walked directly to his Porsche sports car. Leaving the pale-faced Zhang Manlan behind, she really is from a third-rate medical school. Her daughter is uneducated, and she is even more uneducated, Zhang Manlan cursed. "What are you looking at? It's none of your business." Zhang Manlan looked up and scolded the nurses. No one wanted to stir up trouble, so they turned their heads and ignored her. As Zhang Manlan walked to the finance office, she swore to herself, "Hua Min, watch how I steal your husband. You can be arrogant and pretentious in front of me, but in the end, I'll make you lose everything. Hua Xiqian will make you wish you were dead." On his way to the city, Hua Min received a WeChat message from Chen Jia. "Sister Mian, I heard that bitch Zhang Manlan bullied you. I saw her at the cafeteria this afternoon. She won't let her get away with it." Chen Jia was furious when she heard what happened. Hua Min smiled slightly, put on his headphones, and replied to Chen Jia with a voice message. Chapter 2643. "It's okay, Jia. You don't have to." Hua Min smiled. He didn't seem to be angry at Zhang Manlan's behavior. "How can you do that? If you don't get angry, she'll think you're easy to bully. If a tiger doesn't show its power, she'll think you're a sick cat. You're our vice director now, and even in the past, you wouldn't be afraid of her. Song Yisher is so powerful, but you can handle her so well." Chen Jia was a gentle woman, but even she couldn't stand it anymore. Last night, she told Ni Yang about this. Ni Yang was so angry that he wanted to come to South Side to give Zhang Manlan a good scolding. "Jia, it's not about whether I'm scared or not. You have to know that a lion won't look back just because of a dog's bark. A general won't kill a fly even if he has a sword. If I keep arguing with a nobody like Zhang Manlan, then I won't have the time to deal with her. But Sister Mian, what if she's really a threat to you? Don't raise a tiger." Chen Jia was worried. "Don't worry. She's not a threat at all. Plus, I'll deal with Zhang Manlan after I'm done with Su Yu." "That's good. I'm relieved." Chen Jia stopped asking after hearing Hua Min's words. Hua Min drove directly to the Municipal Public Security Bureau. Then, he called Jiang Xiaowei, and Jiang Xiaowei came to pick him up. "Mian, you're going to see Lord Su, right? Let's go. I'll take you there." Jiang Xiaowei had always been a psychologist hired by the Municipal Public Security Bureau. She was highly respected there. "No, I don't want to see Lord Su. Xiaowei, I want to see Lin Mingyu." "What the? Why do you want to see him?" Jiang Xiaowei was scared out of her wits. "I want Lin Mingyu to do me a favor." "Do you know him well? It's hard to talk to him. Will he help you?" Jiang Xiaowei was worried. Forensic doctors had weird tempers. Jiang Xiaowei didn't think Lin Mingyu would help Hua Mian so easily. "I don't care anymore. Let's give it a try," Hua Min said seriously. "Let's go then." Jiang Xiaowei brought Hua Min to Lin Mingyu. Lin Mingyu was not in the office, and he was rarely in the office. Most of the time, he was in the autopsy room, dealing with corpses. He reeked of formalin. "I heard that his conditions are getting better and better." Her temper was getting weirder and weirder. When Su Yan, the head nurse of the first hospital, introduced him to Hua Min, he fell in love with Hua Min at first sight. Unfortunately, Hua Min and Qin Chu had already registered their marriage at that time. In other words, even if they had not registered their marriage, he would not have been Huamin's cup of tea. However, this guy was stubborn and had a good impression of Huamin. Is Dr. Lin here? Jiang Xiaowei asked at the door of the office. Dr. Lin is analyzing the data in the autopsy room. Why are you looking for him, Dr. Jiang? Lin Mingyu's assistant was polite to Jiang Xiaowei. Yes, it's an emergency. Can you help me contact him? Okay, I'll call him. As soon as she picked up her phone, the assistant pointed to the other side and shouted, "Hey, he's back." Huamin and Jiang Xiaowei turned their heads and saw Lin Mingyu walking over in his white coat with a stack of documents in his hand. Dr. Lin, I want to ask you for a favor. Huamin did not try to curry favor with him and directly stated his purpose of visit. Jiang Xiaowei thought that Lin Mingyu would reject him directly. To her surprise, he glanced at Huamin and replied calmly. Come in. Chapter 2644. Mian, you can go in now. When you're done, come to my office and we'll have lunch together. Okay. After Jiang Xiaowei left, Huamin and Lin Mingyu went into the office. The truth was, Huamin didn't want to talk to Lin Mingyu. Because of what happened 4 years ago, Huamin used Lin Mingyu. She obtained a lot of secrets about Song Yishi's corpse and cleared Mr. Qin's name in court. This matter, if it was anyone else, they would have an opinion about it. Huamian was even prepared for Lin Mingyu to scold her or drive her away when he saw her. However, none of that happened. Lin Mingyu even let her into his office. Have a seat. Okay. Huamin nodded and sat down. What do you want to drink? Water, thank you. In a place filled with formalin, she wasn't in the mood for tea or coffee. Lin Mingyu poured a glass of water for Huamin. Tell me, what can I do for you? Lin Mingyu went straight to the point. Dr. Lin, my friend, was wrongly accused and detained by the Municipal Public Security Bureau. He was charged with intentional assault, but he didn't do it. Your friend is Su Yu, right? Lin Mingyu glanced at her and asked. Huamin nodded. Su Yu's case was all over the city, so it wasn't strange for Lin Mingyu to know about it. Tell me the details, and see what I can do. Then, Lin Mingyu took out a notepad and a black ballpoint pen, planning to write down some useful information. Huamin told Lin Mingyu the details that Su Yu told her. So, what can I do? Lin Mingyu asked Huamin. I think the wound on Lu Zai's wrist wasn't caused by a fruit knife because Su Yu was sure he didn't do anything. When he went in, he saw the knife on the ground. Out of curiosity, he picked it up and left his fingerprints. But the Municipal Bureau is not that stupid. If it was not caused by a fruit knife, it would have been obvious, Lin Mingyu retorted. This is where Lu Zai is smart. I have a bold guess, Huamin said seriously. What guess? I think Lu Zai's wound was caused by another knife, but he is also a doctor. He knew that if he used a fruit knife to frame Su Yu, the evidence might be exposed, and the case might not be valid. So, it is very likely that he used the fruit knife that he prepared beforehand to deepen the wound. What you're saying is that in order to frame Su Yu, Lu Zai used a fruit knife to cover up the original wound so that the wound on the surface would appear as if it was caused by a fruit knife. Yes. Huamin nodded. Then this person is very smart and skilled at using a knife. Lin Mingyu was surprised. It is true that he is smart and skilled at using a knife. He is a doctor. Huamin insisted on his guess. Then this is interesting. So, I want to help my friend clear his name. The first step is to start with this. What can I help you with? Just tell me. I want you to help me re-examine Lu Zai's wound. See what kind of knife wound he was hiding under the original wound. You can do it yourself, Huamian. I heard that you were given an exception for the exam, and the time you used to perform an autopsy was unbelievable. You shouldn't ask me for help, you're a medical genius yourself. Lu Zai's eyes were filled with admiration as he spoke. But I am not a forensic doctor. My results are not convincing. The municipal bureau and the judge won't accept it, but you have the right to do so, Huamin said word by word. But, why should I help you? Lin Mingyu looked at him and asked calmly. Chapter 2645. For a fair and just result. For you as a forensic doctor. For you to be responsible for your work. For you to not leave a single stain on your career. For you to stick to your morals and principles. For you to live up to your noble identity as a forensic doctor, Huamin said word by word. Okay, Huamin, you win. Lin Mingyu sighed slightly. He was completely convinced by Huamin. Huamin didn't say anything. Lin Mingyu said, I thought you'd throw a bunch of money at me with your current status. Do you need money? Huamin asked with a smile. Lin Mingyu smiled as well. Or you could bribe me with expensive gifts, or lure me with money. That won't work on you. Everyone knows that you're the most upright doctor in the bureau. Otherwise, you wouldn't have become an elite at such a young age. I didn't think that the upright vice director Huo would flatter someone. Lin Mingyu smiled. I'm not flattering you. Everything I said is the truth. Okay, I thought I'd give you a hard time, but who knew that you'd shut me up? It seems like I'm no match for you. No wonder everyone says that the vice director of Southside is a woman with a high IQ. She's so smart that no one can be jealous of her, only admiration and admiration. Okay, Dr. Lin, let's stop flattering each other. I really need your help this time. I can help you with this, Lin Mingyu agreed without hesitation. Thank you. Huamin was pleasantly surprised. He didn't think that Lin Mingyu would be so easily convinced. No, don't thank me yet. I know that I'll re-examine Lu Zhe's injuries for you, but if the results are out and there's no other wound hidden by the fruit knife, I'll still report it as it is. I won't change Su Yu's results just because he's your friend, Lin Mingyu said righteously. That's not a problem. I understand. It's how it should be. You trust Su Yu that much? Lin Mingyu looked at Huamin seriously. Yes, I believe him. He wouldn't do such a thing. I've known him for many years. I know my own friends. Su Yu is very lucky to have a friend like you. Lin Mingyu was a little envious. No, it's me. I'm very happy to have a friend like Su Yu. Huamin smiled faintly. His eyes were sincere from the bottom of his heart. At this moment, Lin Mingyu finally understood why everyone liked Huamin so much. If Su Yu heard what she said, he would be moved to death, right? I'm not a gossipy person, but I know that the two of you are talking about a divorce, so? Huamin smiled. So, if you help Su Yu clear his name now, someone might write a ridiculous story about it. It might not be good for your family. Do you know that? Also, as far as I know, even though the Su family can't interfere with Su Yu's matters right now, he definitely won't go to jail. In other words, whether Su Yu really did it or not, he won't really go to jail. So, what's the point of trying so hard to clear Su Yu's name? Even if it means divorcing your husband? After hearing this, Huamin looked at Lin Mingyu's face and said word by word, Huamin will never let my friend be set up for no reason and be accused of something he didn't do. No matter what I have to do, I won't let something like this happen. I won't let it happen. So, is it really worth it? Or, do you actually like Su Yu a little? Lin Mingyu asked uncertainly. Chapter 2646. I don't like you, I only have the most sincere friendship for my friends. Huamin's answer was short but honest. Okay, it's a blessing to be Vice Director Hua's friend. Lin Mingyu sighed heavily. But you're my friend too. Huamin was a little embarrassed. No, I'm not. Otherwise, Vice Director Hua wouldn't have used me without telling me, Lin Mingyu said in a fit of pique. Huamin felt guilty. I'm sorry, Dr. Lin. I really didn't have a choice back then. You don't have to explain, I understand. I don't blame you. People say that a husband and wife are birds in the same forest. When disaster strikes, they fly away separately. But you, a weak woman, put your own safety aside and wholeheartedly protected your husband at a critical moment like this. This kind of heart is hard to come by. Hua Min bit his lips and didn't say anything else. He really didn't know what to say. Let's go, I'll go write up the application. After the city bureau approves, I'll bring people to Lu Zhe to re-examine his injuries. Dr. Lin, about Lu Zhe. Hua Min was anxious and wanted to say something. I know, I won't give Lu Zhe any advance notice. I'll give him time to play tricks. I'll bring people over and catch him off guard. When the time comes, the results will be the most accurate and he won't have a chance to play any tricks. Yes, that's it. Thank you for your hard work. Hua Min nodded in relief. Okay, don't worry, I'll get the results as soon as possible. But you have to know, even if we do find something, it might not be enough to clear his name. After all, there are so many witnesses, so don't place all your hopes on this. It can only be used as supporting evidence. I understand, I'll think of a way to find other evidence. Anyways, thank you, Dr. Lin. You're welcome, it's my job. Then, Hua Min and Lin Mingyu left the office together. Hua Min went straight to Jiang Shaowei. The two of them ordered a few simple dishes from a Sichuan restaurant downstairs and chatted while eating. I didn't expect Lin Mingyu to be so easy to talk to. Damn, this is an eye-opener, Jiang Shaowei exclaimed. Actually, I've asked around about Lin Mingyu. Gao Ran said that he has a good reputation. Although he's a little rigid and unwilling to bend the rules, he's still a very upright person. Many family members have given him money and jewelry before, asking him to slightly change the test results, but he refused no matter what. Lin Mingyu's conditions are not bad. He doesn't lack that bit of money. It's not a matter of money. It's a matter of character. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to hold on to this post for so many years, but this time, I'm surprised that he agreed. Mian, you have to know that it's the hospital's job to examine the injuries of living people. It's not Lin Mingyu's job. He's a forensic doctor and he only examines corpses. I understand. So, why don't you let the first hospital or south side do the examination? Why go through so much trouble? Jiang Shaowei didn't understand Hua Min's move. The hospital won't be able to do it. Lu Zhe is a doctor and he's very good at it. Only a forensic doctor would be able to do such a detailed examination. Plus, it's because he's a forensic doctor from the Municipal Public Security Bureau that he's more convincing. Damn, I'm impressed. You're so thoughtful and meticulous. Jiang Shaowei gave him a thumbs up. Just then, Hua Min's phone rang. She picked up the phone and saw that it was Tang Chuan. Sis-in-law, I found some leads on Lord Su's case. Where are you? I'll send them to you. Tang Chuan sounded a little excited. Chapter 2647. Sure, I'm with Shaowei. Just come to the Sichuan restaurant on the street behind the bureau. Okay, I'll be right there. Who is it? Jiang Shaowei asked. Tang Chuan. He said he found some clues. That's good news. They didn't have to wait for long before Tang Chuan arrived in a high-profile Ferrari sports car. Oh, both sisters-in-law are here, huh? Cut the crap, tell me, what did you find out? Jiang Shaowei was also anxious. Tang Chuan looked at Hua Min and said with admiration, Sister-in-law, you're right, I'm impressed by your intelligence. You asked me to ask around in the circle, and I really did find out. One of my friend's cousin used to hang out with Lu Zhe. Although Lu Zhe went abroad and his friend also studied abroad, they were in different countries, but they still followed each other on Facebook. He told me that Lu Zhe used to have a girlfriend from Sea City, and Lu Zhe would occasionally show off their relationship on Facebook. I don't know what happened, but Lu Zhe deleted all of the photos on Facebook, no matter if it was of that woman or Lu Zhe himself. He described the girl's appearance to me, and I hired a professional artist to draw her out. Guess who the girl is? Who? Jiang Xiaowei was curious. No matter who the girl is, she must have something to do with Su Yu. Lu Zhe is obviously here for revenge. Hua Min analyzed. Damn, is it Jian Tong, that scheming bitch? Jiang Xiaowei guessed. Hua Min shook his head decisively. No, Jian Tong only wanted to win Su Yu's heart. She wouldn't date someone like Lu Zhe. Plus, Jian Tong is a public figure. Lu Zhe wouldn't show off their relationship on Facebook, so this person can't be from the entertainment industry. Sister-in-law, you're so smart. You're indeed not from the entertainment industry. Tang Chuan continued to argue. Fuck, then just say it. Why are you being so secretive? Jiang Xiaowei hammered Tang Chuan's shoulder anxiously. There's no hurry. Let's test the intelligence of my sister-in-law, Hua Min. Everyone says that she's extremely smart. Today, I want to broaden my horizons. Guess, if you guess correctly, I'll pay for today's meal. After that, Tang Chuan calmly picked up the glass of water. Because he was thirsty from talking, he drank a large glass of water. Judging from your tone, it's definitely not easy to guess. Aren't you making things difficult for Mian? Jiang Xiaowei chuckled. Hua Min didn't smile. Instead, he was seriously thinking and analyzing. After about 10 seconds, Hua Min slowly said, before Lord Su was born, he was rumored to be a playboy. However, he never let a girl down or played with her feelings. However, there was one girl who was unlucky because of Su Yu. Who? Jiang Xiaowei was surprised. Zhao Qingya, Hua Min slowly answered. Just as Tang Chuan was about to speak, Hua Min continued, but Zhao Qingya was also a public figure under Imperial Star. She was very popular back in the day, just like Jian Tong. Tang Chuan also said that he wasn't from the entertainment industry. So, I thought of someone else. Zhao Qingya's younger sister. She blamed Su Yu for her sister's imprisonment and committed suicide to frame Su Yu. Oh my god, Mian, if you didn't mention it, I almost forgot about her. Tang Chuan, is my Mian right? Jiang Xiaowei tilted her head and asked Tang Chuan. Chapter 2648. Sis-in-law, you know how to read fortunes, right? Tang Chuan looked like he was about to cry. Cut the crap, is it right or not? Jiang Xiaowei asked anxiously. Yeah, it's her, Zhao Xia. Tang Chuan pulled out an old photo of the girl and Lu Zhe and threw it onto the table. Jiang Xiaowei picked it up and looked at it. You don't say, this girl really does look like Zhao Qingya. They were born from the same father and mother. How can they not look alike? Tang Chuan laughed. If it's really her, then everything makes sense. Lu Zhe blamed everything on Su Yu, and that's why he's trying to get revenge, then. Lu Zhe wrote and directed all of this himself? Tang Chuan asked. Not necessarily. No matter how vicious Lu Zhe is, he doesn't look like someone who would cut his own tendons. Plus, he should know that with the power of the Su family, even if it wasn't Su Yu wouldn't really go to jail. So, it's impossible for him to trade his own hand for Su Yu's medical parole. Don't forget that doctors like us value our hands the most. We have to be prepared for surgery at all times. Mian is right. It seems like this whole thing is a bit complicated. Lu Zhe might really have been attacked by an outsider and used the opportunity to frame Su Yu, Jiang Xiaowei analyzed. Hua Min nodded. That's the most likely explanation. Okay, sisters-in-law, you guys are so smart. From what I know, this girl has been with Lu Zhe for more than 3 years. During that time, she even went abroad to visit Lu Zhe once. She was planning to go abroad after graduation and even filled out her application. Who would have thought that something like this would happen? Tang Chuan explained. Logically speaking, this shouldn't be the case. A normal girl wouldn't risk her own life to frame someone else, even if something happened to her sister. Jiang Xiaowei felt like something was wrong. I forgot to tell you guys, this girl has depression. She had a relapse once before, during the middle school exams due to the stress. She had another relapse during the college entrance exams. So, the last time she had a relapse, it was probably because of her sister's death that she was so traumatized that she went to extremes. I heard that the two sisters were very close. Don't be fooled by Zhao Qingya's arrogance, she really loved her sister. Zhao Qingya paid for her sister's food, clothes, and school fees. Zhao Qingya even left her a lot of money for her to go abroad. Tang Chuan told them what he found out. So, everything makes sense now. I knew that Lu Zhe had ulterior motives for coming back to work at Southside. At first, I thought he was working for Hua Xiqian to sow discord between me and Mr. Qin. Now I know that he approached me not to sow discord between me and Mr. Qin, but to take revenge on Su Yu. It seems like he also investigated Su Yu thoroughly, Hua Min said with a straight face. Yeah, our Lord Su was too careless this time. He was framed by an idiot. It's so frustrating. I really want to go to Southside and kill that bastard right now. Tang Chuan's face was filled with anger. That's enough, don't cause more trouble. Now that Lu Zhe is in trouble and has applied for protection, no one can get close to him, let alone you. We should think of a way to clear Su Yu's name. Jiang Xiaowei picked up her glass and took a sip of water. Mian, do you have any good ideas? You're smart, we'll listen to you. Tang Chuan looked at Hua Min. Chapter 2649. I will collect all the evidence and clear Su Yu's name, Hua Min said. That's it? That's all? Tang Chuan wasn't satisfied. That's not all. Anyways, all you need to do is collect the evidence for me. I know how to do it. Okay, we'll do as you say. After talking about Su Yu, Hua Min, Jiang Xiaowei, and Tang Chuan continued to eat. Qin Ning originally planned to come with Su Yu, but she received a call from Qin Chu's parents, so she went back to pick up the twins and went to piano practice. So, she planned to find Tang Chuan after she was done with her work. While the twins were in the piano room, Qin Ning sat in the living room and waited. She took out her phone and started texting her friends in America to relieve her boredom. Suddenly, she heard a woman's laughter behind her. Miss Qin, what a coincidence. Qin Ning turned around, and when she saw the woman behind her, her face fell slightly. Ms. Jean, what a coincidence. It was Ji Ning. She was as elegant as always, wearing a long cheongsam and styling her hair in the style of the Republic of China. She exuded the aura of a mature woman. Miss Qin, isn't Chuan with you? Is Chuan someone you can call? If I remember correctly, you're his third aunt, right? Qin Ning's expression was not pleasant. But I'm divorced from his third uncle. So what? Do you think you still have a chance? Are you trying to persuade me to back off? Qin Ning knew that Ji Ning wasn't a kind person. No, I actually want to say that you don't know Chuan. After all, I was with him for a long time. What he likes to eat, what he likes to play, what he likes to listen to, which country he likes, which team he likes, what sports he likes, I know everything. What about you? Do you know? Qin Ning suddenly realized that after being together for so long, Tang Chuan basically knew her preferences. However, it was true that she had never asked Tang Chuan, because when the two of them were together, Tang Chuan always followed her preferences. Tang Chuan would eat whatever she ate. Thinking of this, she felt guilty. She had indeed neglected him. I don't know. It seems, your girlfriend isn't very reliable. No wonder. Mrs. Tang doesn't like you. Ji Ning smiled contemptuously. You make it sound like Mrs. Tang likes you. The pot calling the kettle black, what's the point? Qin Ning retorted. Do you know what the Tang family is saying about you? Ji Ning asked. Tell me about it. Qin Ning raised her chin arrogantly. The Tang family said that you're just an unruly rich girl who doesn't know how to do anything and that you're not suitable to be the daughter-in-law of the Tang family. Plus, Chuan's feelings for you are temporary and he's just looking for a sense of novelty. The truth is, he's always liked mature and elegant women, not an immature girl like you. Even if he did marry you, it would be because your family has helped the Tang family. It's a business marriage. Do you really think you two are truly in love? What's the point of saying all this? Do you think I don't know what you're thinking? You just want to drive a wedge between us. Why should I believe you? Qin Ning wasn't an idiot. She wouldn't believe Jin Ying's unreliable words just because of what she said. Do you think I'm just saying it? You can see for yourself. Then, Jin Ning turned on her phone and showed Qin Ning a video. After watching it, Qin Ning's expression changed drastically. Chapter 2650. Ji Ning had recorded a short video, and the person talking in it was Tang Chuan's mother. Although Qin Ning had never officially visited her, she knew what Tang Chuan's mother looked like. In the video, Tang Chuan's mother said loudly and disdainfully, "That little girl from the Qin family is shameless enough to throw herself at my son. Her father wants to give the company to my son, but unfortunately, my son has a backbone. The Tang family doesn't lack that little bit of pocket money. Who would want that? My son is still young and uncertain. He's just fooling around with that little girl for a while, and he won't get married. I've never liked the Qin family, especially that young president of GK. He's always so arrogant, as if they're the only rich family in the world. You guys, if there's a suitable girl with a clean background who's cultured and educated, introduce her to my son. She must be a virgin. I don't want my future daughter-in-law to be a bus driver. I don't want anyone to sleep with her, and I don't want my grandson to be born from a woman like that. Our family doesn't ask for a daughter-in-law to be super rich, even if she's not of the same social status, but I'm telling you, she must be filial to me and Tang Chuan. She must know how to take care of my son and be a good wife and mother." The video ended there, and Qin Ning's expression couldn't be described with the word ugly. "How is it, Miss Qin? Are you sad?" To tell you the truth, Tang Chuan's mother is very difficult to deal with. Even a rich girl who's better than you might not be able to catch her eye, let alone you. So, don't think that you're really Tang Chuan's fiancé. Thank you for your kindness, Ms. Jean. No matter what the Tang family thinks of me, as long as Tang Chuan treats me well and loves me, that's all that matters. Even if they want to use your marriage and your family background, you don't care?" Ji Ning asked in disbelief. "Yes, I don't care, as long as Tang Chuan is with me. It's better than someone like you who doesn't know how to cherish him and only comes back to him after losing him," Qin Ning refuted Ji Ning. I really have to admire Miss Qin's open-mindedness." Ji Ning laughed sarcastically. "You probably haven't heard of a story. Actually, marriages that are based on benefits will last longer. After all, a marriage of equal social status will help two people get along better. With your background, you should be very lucky to be able to marry his third uncle. It's impossible for you to marry Tang Chuan, but I can. Even if it's because of my family background, I'm willing, but you'll never be able to get it." "That's it." Qin Ning's words infuriated Ji Ning. "Well, in that case, I won't say more. Miss Qin, take care of yourself, hee hee." Ji Ning turned around and left. What a bitch. Qin Ning cursed as she looked at the woman's departing back. When the twins came out, they realized that their aunt was in a bad mood. "What's going on? Why the long face? Did you break up?" Little Bean teased. "Little Bean, can't you say something more auspicious?" Qin Ning didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Lucky? Okay, Auntie, did you get pregnant out of wedlock?" Little Bean continued to ask. Qin Ning almost choked on her own saliva when she heard this. Just then, her phone rang. She looked down and saw that it was Tang Chuan calling. But for some reason, Qin Ning didn't want to pick up. "Auntie, you have a phone call." Little Bean thought that Qin Ning didn't hear her and kindly reminded her. Chapter 26:51. I heard it. You don't have to answer it, Qin Ning said angrily. Ugh. It seems like you guys are really fighting. Pudding glanced at her aunt helplessly. She felt so tired every day. Not only did she have to watch her parents fight, but she also had to watch her aunt and future uncle put on such a sad show. It's okay. Don't talk about it when you get home, okay? Qin Ning warned. Okay. Seeing their aunt's attitude, the twins didn't want to ask too much. When they got home, Qin Chu and Huamin had already gone home. It was rare for the whole family to gather together. Mrs. Qin had prepared a table full of dishes in order to ease the awkward atmosphere in the house. Grandma made a lot of the dishes today. You guys should eat some, Mr. Qin said to his twin grandsons. Grandma made the food herself. Thank you, Grandma. Mwah. Little Bean blew a kiss into the air. You're good at making people happy. Mama Qin smiled. Ning Ning, do you want to call your boyfriend and ask him to come over for dinner? Mr. Qin asked. No, Uncle. What's wrong? Mr. Qin felt something was wrong and asked curiously. Ning Ning, what's wrong? Did you have a fight with Tang Chuan? Huamin tilted his head and looked at Qin Ning. He saw Tang Chuan at noon and didn't think there was anything going on between them. It's okay, sis-in-law. Let's not talk about it. You should ask my brother if he really wants me to take the twins with me. Qin Ning hadn't made up her mind yet. After all, they had never lived alone in the States. Would they really get used to being separated from their parents for so long? At this question, Huamian gently bit her lips. Honey, do you really want Ning Ning to take the twins with her? Mom and Dad will go with her. Don't worry. When this is over, we'll bring them back. But, is it safe? I'm afraid. Huamin still felt uneasy. It's safe. I've contacted Rick. His people will be waiting at the airport over there. There won't be any problems, Qin Chu said. But Huamin still felt that it was inappropriate. Before she could finish, Qin Chu interrupted her. While the children are gone, let's calm down and think about our business. Chu, Mian, you're both adults now, not kids anymore. Your mom and I don't want to talk too much about your relationship, but don't mess around. After all, you're parents now. Don't let outsiders laugh at you, Mr. Qin said seriously. Huamin nodded obediently. You're right, Daddy. Let's treat this trip to America as a vacation and visit your second uncle. We can also persuade him to stop being so pretentious and agree to Ning Ning's marriage with that kid from the Tang family, Mr. Qin said. Uncle, my matter is not urgent. You don't have to help me. Ever since she watched the video Ji Ning gave her, Qin Ning had been in a bad mood. She vented all her anger on Tang Chuan. Daddy, Mommy, but Sis and I don't want to go. We don't want to leave you, Little Bean said pitifully. It won't be long. Be good. When things are done here, I'll bring you back, okay? Qin Chu coaxed his two daughters gently. Although Pudding was unwilling, she nodded calmly. Okay. Let's do that. After dinner, Qin Chu went to the study while Huamin took the twins to their room to read stories. After Qin Chu went in, he received a call from Rick. Have you booked their trip? When will it be? I'll send someone to pick them up, Rick asked. Chapter 26:52. They're not going, Qin Chu answered calmly. They're not going? Are you kidding me? Rick froze. My daughters are leaving, but it's just an illusion. It's to deceive people. The news I release to the public is 2 days later. At that time, I believe that someone will definitely make a move at the airport. I'm here to catch a turtle in a jar. So that's how it is. You sure have a lot of ideas. Rick admitted defeat to Chin Chu's scheming. So, you can just send some people over and pretend to be there. Okay, I understand. After the call with Rick, Chin Chu picked up his phone and ordered his subordinates to deploy. He wondered if Wasichian would make a move if he knew his daughters were leaving. There were also other enemies who were eyeing him. In another room, Mommy, I think it's not good for Auntie. I'll go see her. You stay with Sis for a bit. Okay. Then, Little Bean, who was wearing a tank top and shorts, ran to find Qin Ning. Pudding, do you have anything you want to take with you? Hua Min asked. Mommy, do you really think we'll leave? Pudding's words left Hua Min speechless. Daddy, you mean? Pudding was about to speak. But Hua Min shushed her. Then, she took out the anti-eavesdropping device from her bag and turned on the signal jammer. Then, she continued, okay, you can speak now. Daddy's obviously trying to lure us away. He won't let us leave here and go to the States alone. He's just using this opportunity to eliminate a group of enemies who want to harm us. Pudding, you're right. That's what your daddy meant. Even an idiot can see it. Mommy loves us so much but didn't stop Daddy. You guys obviously planned this. Pudding looked at them with disdain. Your grandparents and Auntie don't know about this. If too many people know, it'll be easy to expose. I know. I won't tell Auntie, and I won't tell Grandpa and Grandma. I believe Daddy will explain when the time comes. Well, my daughter, you're Mommy's pride. Hua Min suddenly felt that Pudding was so smart. It was almost as if he had surpassed his younger self. So, Mommy, can I ask you a question now? Okay, tell me about it. Hua Min looked at her eldest daughter with a smile, her face full of motherly love. Do you have a baby? Pudding asked seriously. Although his expression was very calm, just like an adult, his voice was still childish. When Hua Min heard this, he was shocked beyond words. Pudding, why are you, Mommy, answer me first. Yes or no? Hua Min hesitated for 3 seconds before finally nodding. Yes. I knew it. Looks like we're going to have a new member soon. Pudding smiled slightly. Pudding, how did you know? It depends on your reaction. Mommy, you've always had a good appetite, but recently you've been vomiting a lot. Every time you sneak into the bathroom, you don't want anyone to see you. If you have a stomach flu, you'll prepare your own medicine. But I haven't seen you take any medicine. Okay, you're so smart. Mommy is impressed. Hua Min patted Pudding's head lovingly. Mommy, it's a good thing that you're pregnant. Why didn't you tell Daddy? If he knew, he'd be so happy, Pudding asked. Chapter 2653. It's a critical time. Your daddy and I have to deal with the bad guys together, so I don't want to distract him. But if you don't tell him and something happens, you won't be able to explain it to Daddy, right? I don't think so. Mommy can take care of herself. Did Mommy do a prenatal checkup? I did it secretly. Mommy's an OB/GYN. Don't worry, Pudding. Okay. Mommy, you have to take care of yourself and the baby. Pudding looked at her mommy worriedly. Hua Min picked up Pudding lovingly and placed her on his lap. Oh, Mommy's pregnant now. You can't carry me. Pudding struggled to get off his lap. It's okay. The baby in Mommy's belly is still small. Nothing will happen. Pudding, do you like a younger brother or a younger sister? Hua Min asked happily. A younger brother, of course. Why? Hua Min was even more intrigued. Because Little Bean and I are girls. If we become nuns in the future, Daddy and Mommy will be lonely. If it's a younger brother, he can marry a wife in the future so that Daddy and Mommy won't be alone. No one will accompany them. Pudding's reason made Huamian's eyes hazy with tears. Pudding, your words really touched Mommy. I'm just saying what I think. Although a younger brother is a bit naughty, he has his advantages. Then, aren't you afraid that Daddy and Mommy will only love the younger brother and not you and Little Bean? Huamin asked tentatively. Mommy, we're not kids who don't know how to behave. We're all born from the same parents. There's no such thing as love. We're the fruits of your love and will be loved equally. It's not like you guys laid the eggs. You don't have to care about them after they're born. Huamin, okay, you win. Huamin suddenly realized that his eloquence was no match for his 3.5-year-old daughter. Wasn't it too powerful? In the other room, Little Bean said that she was going to coax Qin Ning, but on the way to her aunt's room, she saw the freshly baked egg tarts and forgot about her aunt. She followed the maid all the way to the living room and ate egg tarts in the living room. She even nestled in her grandfather's arms and ate. When Qin Ning came out of the shower, she saw several WeChat messages on her phone. Tang Chuan, Ningning, why aren't you answering the phone? Tang Chuan, oh my god, don't scare me. Alright, my heart can't take scares. Tang Chuan, baby Ning, did I do something wrong? Sob, please acknowledge me. Seeing Tang Chuan like this, Qin Ning's heart softened. He picked up his phone and replied, I fell asleep and just woke up. Tang Chuan, damn, you scared me to death. Can you tell me before you go to bed next time? Qin Ning, Tang Chuan, in the future. I mean, in the future, we can't be together anymore. If we break up, will you still remember me? Tang Chuan, I refuse to answer questions that won't happen, and I won't answer hypothetical questions like this. Qin Ning, I'm serious. What if we're not meant to be? Tang Chuan, then I'll go find matchmaker and get more fate for us. Qin Ning, if we break up, you'll be sad, right? Tang Chuan, no, because we can't break up at all. Qin Ning, Tang Chuan, Ningning, you're weird today. What's wrong? Did something happen? Tang Chuan suddenly realized that Qin Ning was a little sad today, and his heart immediately sank. Chapter 2654. No, nothing. Don't lie to me. If there's anything wrong, just tell me. If I'm not doing a good job, just tell me. I'm really fine. I'm a little tired. I'm going to sleep. Ningning, Qin Ning said that she was tired, so she really put her phone in the drawer and turned it on silent mode. No matter what Tang Chuan said, she didn't reply. This made Tang Chuan feel very uneasy. Although he had been busy with Lord Su's matter and hadn't been with her every day, he didn't feel at ease. However, it wasn't to the extent of giving her the cold shoulder. For the past 2 days, he would send her WeChat messages one after another every morning. He was especially sick of her. Qin Ning's abnormal behavior today made Tang Chuan feel uneasy. He couldn't sleep in the middle of the night, so he got up and took a cold shower. Then, he made a phone call. Help me find out Ningning's schedule and who she's meeting today. 20 minutes later, Tang Chuan received a call. He was furious. Where is that bitch Ji Ning right now? Tang Chuan asked. Young Master Tang, we just found out that she's drinking at a bar in the West District. Okay, I got it. After hanging up the phone, Tang Chuan angrily drove his Ferrari straight to the Slow Yao bar in the West District. He always disdained going to places like this. As he got older, Tang Chuan didn't play as crazy as before. Most of the time, he liked to drink and chat with Wei Liao and Su Yu in private lounges. However, the people in the nightclub all knew this young Master Tang. Oh, young Master Tang, why are you here? Good evening, young Master Tang. Everyone greeted him. This young master was in a bad mood and didn't even smile. Everyone was scared and made a path for him. Is Jining here? Tang Chuan grabbed a man's collar and asked. Yes, she's on the dance floor. The man pointed to the center of the stage. Then, Tang Chuan pulled off his tie and loosened it. Then, he walked directly to the dance floor. On the stage, Jining was having a good time. She was having a dance competition with a prostitute, which made the men below scream. At this time, Tang Chuan took a big step forward, grabbed Jining's collar, and pulled it down. What are you doing? Jining was shocked. When she turned around, she saw clearly that it was Tang Chuan. Chuan, why are you here? Did you come looking for me? The woman was overjoyed. Did you see Jining today? Tang Chuan asked coldly. Upon hearing Tang Chuan's question, Jining stopped smiling and said disdainfully. I didn't look for her on purpose. I met her by chance. So, what did you tell her? I didn't say anything. Did that little girl complain to you? Did she say something bad about me? Do you believe what she said? Jining was the first to accuse her. Ningning didn't say anything. Do you think she's the same as you? Ningning is very innocent, Tang Chuan said angrily. Innocent? Young Master Tang, stop fooling around. How can a teenage girl who can sit on the board of directors of her family be innocent? You shouldn't only listen to her side of the story. Take it out. Tang Chuan reached out his hand impatiently. What is it? Jining played dumb. Tang Chuan didn't wait for her to finish and grabbed her phone. Then, he pulled her arm and unlocked the phone. Finally, he found the video. After watching it, Tang Chuan's expression changed. He looked at Jining and said, You really put in a lot of effort to set me up. You even went to my mom. Jining, not bad. You're getting more and more vicious. Chuan, it's not like that, listen to me. I did this because I still love you. I still want to be by your side. Jining didn't expect that after a few years apart, Tang Chuan was no longer the reckless and stupid boy who could be played by her. The man in front of her was an angry beast. She was beginning to fear him. Chapter 26:55. Come back to me. Do you think this is a kindergarten where you can come and go as you please? Jining, I fed my heart to a dog back then. I thought you'd be fine as long as you stayed by my third uncle's side for the past few years. I didn't expect you to come out and seek death again. Chuan, I've always loved you. I married your third uncle because he drugged me and forced himself on me. I had no choice. Jining always thought that Tang Chuan still had feelings for her, so she pretended to be pitiful. Are you too naive, or am I too naive? Do you think I believe such bullshit? Do you really think I'm an idiot? Tang Chuan scolded angrily. Chuan, believe me, Jining was still begging, but Tang Chuan didn't care about her at all. He grabbed Jining's neck and pressed her down onto the wooden table in the nightclub. The onlookers were scared out of their wits. Young Master Tang, forget it. Why lower yourself to a woman's level? Just do me a favor today. A middle-aged man in his 40s stood behind him. He was the owner of the nightclub. Jining was a frequent customer recently, so he wanted to protect her. However, this angered Tang Chuan even more. Fuck you, I'm not going to give anyone face today. Don't you dare submit your feelings to me. I used to think that men shouldn't hit women, but today, I suddenly feel that women like you are an exception. After speaking, Tang Chuan pulled Jining's hair and slammed her into a pillar on the other side. Jining screamed. The onlookers were also scared out of their wits, but no one dared to stop them. Everyone knew that Tang Chuan used to have a nickname, Mr. Donkey, which meant that he had a temper like a donkey. When he got angry, the earth would shake. Other than Su Yu and Wei Liao, no one could suppress him. Unfortunately, the two of them weren't here right now. The women who came with Jining were also scared out of their wits. Some ran away, while others hid in the corner and didn't dare to make a sound. No one knew how Jining had provoked Tang Chuan. Ah, Chuan. I was wrong. I won't do it again. Please forgive me. Jining begged with tears streaming down her face. Forgiving you is something God does, and my duty is to send you to God. Tang Chuan was furious. In fact, in the past few years, although he resented Jining, it was because Jining had been with him once, so he didn't want to kill her. If he wanted to do something to her, she wouldn't have been able to survive until now. However, this woman was not satisfied. She had always thought that Tang Chuan still had feelings for her. Therefore, if one didn't seek death, they wouldn't die. Help. Call the police. Hurry up. Jining screamed for help when she saw that Tang Chuan had lost his mind. A few rich kids who knew Tang Chuan were also scared silly. Hurry up and call Lord Su. Young Master Tang listens to Lord Su the most. Are you stupid? Lord Su is still in the Municipal Public Security Bureau. He's being detained. Another man was also anxious. Then what should we do? If this continues, she'll die. Hurry up and call young Master Wei, one of the rich kids shouted. 15 minutes later, Wei Liao arrived. This was one of the few times he drove a sports car because it was an emergency. Wei Liao drove his orange-yellow Lamborghini all the way to the nightclub. In only 15 minutes, he ran countless red lights. Jining wasn't fated to die. When Wei Liao arrived, he grabbed Tang Chuan's collar and pulled him back. Let go of me. Tang Chuan didn't know who it was, but he tried to shake him off. You're crazy. Wei Liao roared. Chapter 2656. After seeing that it was Wei Liao, Tang Chuan finally came back to his senses. If you keep doing this, she's going to die. Wei Liao pointed at the woman on the floor and cursed. She deserved to die. Tang Chuan said confidently. In fact, he didn't do this to Jining himself. He pulled her hair and slammed it against the pillar on the table. You killed her in front of everyone. Do you think you can get away with it? Is it worth it for someone like her? After Wei Liao said this, Tang Chuan lowered his head and didn't say anything else. He had just regained a bit of his rationality. Call an ambulance and send her to the hospital. We will settle this privately. We'll pay for it. But if anyone dares to leak this out and make a big deal out of it, don't blame me for not showing mercy. Wei Liao's domineering words shocked everyone. 5 minutes later, the ambulance arrived and took Jining to the hospital. Wei Liao dragged Tang Chuan into the car and left the nightclub. Then, they went to a private club owned by the Wei family. Wei Liao drank with Tang Chuan. Chuan, we've been brothers for years. I'll get straight to the point. Lord Su is still in the Municipal Public Security Bureau. I don't know how he's doing. Tell me, what are you doing? Jining, that bitch, is pushing me too far. She's been living a good life for the past few years, but when have you ever seen me talk to her? Tang Chuan took a sip of wine, depressed. Why did you go crazy this time? Is it because of Jining? Wei Liao guessed. Tang Chuan didn't say anything and took another sip of wine. Jining sent a WeChat message to Tang Chuan, saying that she was tired and was going to bed. The truth was, she didn't sleep well last night. At 6 in the morning, she sent a WeChat message to Tang Chuan with an emoji. Tang Chuan didn't reply, which made her even angrier. After getting up and packing up, she planned to go to Tang Chuan's villa to look for him later. When she went downstairs, she saw Hua Min eating breakfast alone. Good morning, sister-in-law. Morning, Ning Ning. Where's my brother? Qin Ning was curious. Her brother woke up early every day at this time. Your brother has already gone out. So early? Qin Ning was surprised. Well, maybe I've been busy recently. Oh, Qin Ning sat beside Hua Min and picked up a cup of warm milk as she spoke slowly. You don't look too good. Did you not sleep well last night? You have dark circles under your eyes. Oh, maybe it's the time difference, Qin Ning said perfunctorily. At that moment, Huamin's phone rang. Xiaowei. What? There's such a thing. Oh my god, what happened to Tang Chuan? Okay, I got it. I'll tell Ningning. After speaking, Huamin hung up the phone with a serious expression. Seeing Huamin's expression, Qin Ning was scared out of her wits. She thought that Tang Chuan was in an accident. Sister-in-law, what happened? Something happened to Tang Chuan last night. What happened? Did he get into a car accident? Qin Ning was so scared that she was about to cry. She grabbed Huamin's hand with so much force that Huamin frowned in pain. Don't worry, it's not a car accident. Tang Chuan beat up Ji Ning last night for some reason and almost killed her. Later, Wei Liao went and talked him out of it, but he was in a bad mood and kept drinking with Wei Liao. Later, Wei Liao was trapped in the private room of the club and fell asleep. When Xiaowei went over this morning, she found that Tang Chuan had gastric bleeding and sent him to the hospital. Gastric bleeding? Oh my god. Which hospital is he in right now? Qin Ning covered her mouth, completely ignoring the fact that he beat up Ji Ning. At South Side. Sister-in-law, let's go now. I want to see him. Qin Ning was in a hurry. Chapter 2657. When Qin Ning and Huamin arrived at South Side, the sun had just risen. I'm going to the office to change into my uniform, Huamin said. Hey, it's already so late. Sister-in-law, can you come with me to see Tang Chuan first? Qin Ning grabbed Huamin's hand. Look at how impatient you are. You're not reserved at all. Huamin teased her on purpose. How can I be reserved when I'm in love? Plus, when you were in love with my brother, you were even more lovey-dovey than us. Ha. Huamin was speechless. Just like that, under Qin Ning's constant pestering, Huamin followed Qin Ning to see Tang Chuan before he had time to change out of his uniform. Tang Chuan lived in VIP 6 and enjoyed the treatment of an emperor. Those who knew him would think he was there to recuperate, but those who didn't would think he was there to gain weight. Good morning, Vice Director. Good morning, Vice Director Hua. On the way, all the doctors and nurses greeted Huamin warmly. Huamin, on the other hand, only wore a simple white short-sleeved shirt, black harem pants, and flats. Then, he wore a black Korean-style windbreaker and his black-rimmed glasses. He looked very cute. Although he didn't have the elegant and intellectual temperament he had before, he still looked much younger. Ever since Zhang Manlin deliberately imitated Huamin's clothes, her taste and style had changed. Go in. Why are you standing at the door? Huamin said with a smile. Sister-in-law. You go in first. What? Are you two having a fight? Huamin asked Qin Ning, sensing something was wrong. Not really. Anyway, you go in first. Hee. Qin Ning began to hesitate. Huamin had no choice but to push the door open and walk in. Inside, Tang Chuan was eating breakfast and the caregiver was mopping the floor. Huh? Sister-in-law, why are you here? Tang Chuan was a little surprised. I heard it from Xiaowei. What happened? You've never been drunk before. How did you get gastrorrhagic? Huamin asked deliberately. Mistake. Tang Chuan replied with a smile as he craned his neck to look out the door. What are you looking at? Huamin asked deliberately. I'm fine. Are you disappointed that Ningning didn't come? No. After all, I didn't tell Ningning. She's always anxious. If she knew, she'd probably be worried about me, haha, Tang Chuan said narcissistically. Who's worried about you? It's better if you're dead. I'll let you drink so you won't learn from your mistakes. Qin Ning couldn't hold it in any longer as she pushed open the door and walked in. Seeing Qin Ning walk in, Tang Chuan was so excited that he almost jumped out of bed. Hey, what are you doing? You can't move. You're still on an 4 drip. Hua Min immediately stopped Tang Chuan. Oh my god, you're really here? Tang Chuan's face was full of joy. Yeah, to see if you're dead. Qin Ning purposely put on a dark face. Huh, of course not. If I'm dead, you'll be a widow. Don't be so shameless. Fine, I'm not married to you yet, Qin Ning scolded. Ning Ning, my hand hurts. Can you feed me some kanji? I'm so hungry. Tang Chuan began to act like a spoiled child. In your dreams. You're just suffering from gastroragic. It's not like you lost an arm or a leg. Qin Ning retorted. Do you have the heart to do that? Forget it, I won't eat. I'll just starve. Tang Chuan looked at the kanji pitifully. Qin Ning's heart immediately softened. Look at you acting like a spoiled child. I knew you'd be fine. Okay, you two have your fun. I'm going to work. Hua Min shook his head helplessly and walked out of the room. At this time, Tang Chuan was even more brazen. He pulled Qin Ning's face and kissed her. What are you doing? Qin Ning bit her lips shyly. Chapter 26:58. What am I doing? Can't I kiss my wife? Tang Chuan said matter-of-factly. How many times do I have to tell you, Tang Chuan? We haven't even gotten our marriage certificate yet. I'm not your wife yet. So you're blaming me for not proposing? Huh, then I'll propose right now. Let's go get our marriage certificate right now, okay? Tang Chuan held Qin Ning's hand tightly. You really want to marry me? Qin Ning looked up at him. Of course. Then, let me ask you, if I'm not Qin Ning, would you still want to marry me? Qin Ning asked again. Tang Chuan was dumbfounded. No, Ning Ning, what do you mean? I'm confused. What do you mean you're not Qin Ning? Did the Qin family adopt you? Or Qin Chu's second uncle adopted you? Tang Chuan's imagination ran wild. No, what I mean is, if I'm just an ordinary girl, not the heiress of the Qin family, and not a member of GK's board of directors, would you still want to marry me? Tang Chuan finally understood what she meant after hearing her words. He slowly withdrew his hand from Qin Ning's hand, and his expression slowly fell. So, you think? I want to marry you because of your heiress status, and because I want your family's money? Qin Ning obviously didn't have the confidence to answer Tang Chuan's question. Ning Ning, you're younger than me, so you're not mature enough to ask such a hurtful question. I won't blame you for now. Let's talk about a more obvious question. Do you think I need money? No. Qin Ning shook her head. Then do you think I want power? Not really. Qin Ning knew that Tang Chuan didn't even want to manage his own company. He preferred to be free and unrestrained, as happy as a bird. Or do you think you're the only heiress in the world, the only woman who's suitable for me? Tang Chuan asked sharply. That's not it. If you're looking for a rich girl, there are many candidates. I know you've always been good with women, Qin Ning replied expressionlessly. So, Ning Ning, I think, a smart person like you shouldn't ask me such a stupid question. To be honest, your question pisses me off. I feel like I'm an idiot right now. We've been together for a long time. How can you not know me and ask such a stupid question? Tang Chuan said. I just. Qin Ning bit her lip and hesitated. At this moment, Tang Chuan suddenly thought of something. He looked up and asked her, so, it's because of the video that Ji Ning showed you, isn't it? Do you mind what my mother said? Qin Ning hesitated for a few seconds before nodding obediently. I knew it. I knew that woman was the most despicable. I should have just ripped her mouth apart. Tang Chuan was a little angry. Could it be that the video is fake? Did Jining wrongly accuse your mother? Qin Ning asked in displeasure. No, the video is real. My mother didn't lie about what she said. Tang Chuan tried to explain patiently. So, I have a reason to suspect your family's motive for marrying me, right? I don't think what I did was despicable, Qin Ning questioned calmly. Chapter 26:59. Yes, you can doubt my family, my parents, and my family members, but Ning Ning, you shouldn't doubt my sincerity towards you. You're not a kid anymore. Can't you feel how I treat you? All these years, I've never tried to get close to a woman for any other reason. There are many young stars in the industry, and I can play with any female artist under Lord Su's company for free. Why should I waste my time on you and carefully coax you? I'm not good at being cheap. The fact that Tang Chuan said those words proved that he was really angry. You're right, but what your mother said really hurt me. Whether or not Jining recorded it on purpose, I'm really unhappy. Rest well, I'm going to go now. I don't want to fight with you. After speaking, Qin Ning turned and left. Tang Chuan pulled out the 4 drip from his hand, causing blood to flow out. Auntie Hu was so scared that she screamed, "Blood! There's so much blood!" Qin Ning turned around and saw the scene. Her face was extremely pale. Tang Chuan, what are you doing? Qin Ning lost control and yelled. Aren't you leaving? Why do you care if I die? Just go. Tang Chuan was also angry. Because of the rolling needle, there was a big bump on the back of his hand. The 4 drip was also all over the floor, mixed with blood. It was a heart-wrenching sight. Nurse, come and take a look. Qin Ning didn't have time to argue with Tang Chuan. She opened the door and called for the nurse. When the nurse came in, she took a look and said, "It's okay. It's just a rolling needle. You can use the other hand. All of you, get out. I'm not doing it. I'm leaving the hospital in a bit." Tang Chuan was also angry. You and Su Yu are really good friends. I heard that Su Yu has a bad temper, but it seems like you're even worse than him, Qin Ning said. If you don't want to see me, you can leave. Tang Chuan said angrily. I'm not leaving. You don't own the hospital. It's none of your business, Qin Ning said deliberately. Tang Chuan, Qin Ning, are you a 3-year-old? Tang Chuan looked at her angrily. No, I'm an adult in my 20s, but I'm willing to do what children do. This is called finding the lost innocence. Qin Ning raised her chin and looked at him provocatively. You, what do you think? Qin Ning had a "what can you do to me" look on her face. Tang Chuan was completely defeated. After the nurse watched the 2 people in front of her torture each other, she quietly left without saying a word. 10 minutes later, under Qin Ning's stern gaze, Tang Chuan pierced his other hand. In exchange, Qin Ning sat on the edge of the bed and fed him porridge. Hey, Tang Chuan, how did you know that I watched the video Jining gave me? Qin Ning was angry just now, so she didn't pay attention to these details. But now that she thought about it carefully, she didn't tell him that Jining came looking for her, nor did she tell him about the video. But why did he seem to know everything? My divine foresight. Don't talk nonsense. Tell me the truth. Hey. I did find out. Seeing how strange you were, I knew something was wrong. I checked your schedule that day and knew that you met Jining. Then I went to find her and found the video on her phone. And then? Hearing that Tang Chuan went to find Jining, Qin Ning's heart was still slightly jealous. Chapter 26:60. Then? Oh, then I beat her up. Pfft. You actually hit a woman? Qin Ning looked at him in disbelief. Come on, that's not a normal woman, okay? Plus, everyone has a bottom line. You're my bottom line, but she kept on doing it. I've tolerated it for a long time. Just because she's a woman doesn't mean she can commit murder and arson. If she's forgiven, wouldn't the world be a mess? Tang Chuan rolled his eyes. Qin Ning thought about it carefully and felt that what he said made sense. Then, didn't you feel bad when you hit her? Babe, don't mess around. If I felt bad, why would I hit her? Plus, I didn't hit her. Let me correct you, I beat her up, Tang Chuan said shamelessly as he ate his porridge. Okay, you win. Qin Ning looked helpless. Inside his office, Huamin picked up his notebook and was about to go check on the situation. Just then, Chen Jia walked in and said, Chief, there's a forensic doctor from the city bureau. He said he wants to examine Dr. Lu Zhe's injuries. You should go take a look. Oh, really? I'll go take a look. Knowing that Lin Mingyu was here, Huamin was a little excited. After all, this was a key piece of evidence that could prove Su Yu's innocence. She hurriedly put on her white coat and went downstairs. Lin Mingyu was just in front of Lu Zhe's room. Forensic Dr. Lin. Vice Director Hua. Lin Mingyu spoke in a formal tone. An assistant followed behind him with the necessary equipment in his hands. Thank you for coming. Huamin sincerely expressed his gratitude. You're welcome, Vice Director. It's my job. Let's go. Lin Mingyu pushed the door open and walked in. Lu Zhe was watching the morning news. He was a little annoyed when he saw strangers barging in. Who are you? Who let you in? Lu Zhe's temper was not small either. Let me introduce myself. I'm a forensic doctor specially hired by the city bureau, Lin Mingyu. Forensic doctor? Why are you looking for me? Aren't you supposed to work with corpses? I'm not dead yet. Did you walk into the wrong room? Lu Zhe scolded. I asked him to come, Huamin said seriously as he walked out from behind. Hua. Vice Principal, what do you mean by this? Why did you find a forensic doctor for no reason? I need to focus on recuperating now, do you understand? I know, but I think there are still many suspicious points in this case, so I invited Dr. Lin to examine your injuries. Injury examination? Are you kidding me? Don't tell me that this kind of thing isn't done by our hospital. Why do we need a forensic doctor? Lu Zhe smirked coldly, his face full of disdain. Of course, our hospital can do it, but we don't have the authority of medical examiner Lin. Nonsense, I'm not accepting any medical examination. Get out. Lu Zhe had lost his patience. You have no right to refuse, unless you cancel the charges against Su Yu, Huamin said righteously. Tease? Hee hee. Vice President, I'm the one who sued your sweetheart. Are you worried? Are you anxious? Huamin heard his words, but he did not get angry. He just looked at him quietly. Lin Mingyu took out a certificate from his briefcase and threw it on the bed in front of Lu Zhe. What is this? He asked. This is the certificate of injury examination from the city bureau. I'm following the orders of the bureau's director to examine your injuries. You better cooperate, Lin Mingyu said bluntly. You think you can prove Su Yu's innocence by examining his injuries? Hee hee. You're too naive, Lu Zhe sneered. Medical examiner Lin's time is precious. Dr. Lu, you'd better cut the crap and cooperate with us. Don't say such shameless things to me after the results are out, Huamian said calmly. Chapter 2661. Lu Zhe always thought that his method was foolproof. Even if the wound was examined again, no one would be able to tell anything. After that night when he was stabbed by the mysterious man, Lu Zhe wanted to frame Su Yu even more. So, he made up his mind and stabbed the wound with his own fruit knife. Therefore, the wound on the surface was caused by the fruit knife. When Lu Zhe used the fruit knife, he wore a water mask so that no fingerprints were left behind. After Suyu entered the room, he instinctively picked up the bloody fruit knife and became the culprit. Lu Zhe's method was vicious. Doctors only looked at the surface of the wound and would not look too deeply into it. As a forensic doctor, Lin Mingyu was very strict and took care of many details well. Moreover, he was a forensic doctor specially hired by the city bureau. This was why Hua Min came to him. Lu Zhe cooperated and stayed still. Lin Mingyu's assistant took out all the necessary equipment. Lin Mingyu put on a mask and gloves and began to examine the wound. Hua Min stood aside and watched quietly. At the same time, he had to endure Lu Zhe's mockery and contempt. "Vice President, tell me, why is your life so good? There are so many men who are head over heels for you. Logically speaking, your looks aren't that great, and your personality isn't that gentle. Could it be, because your skills in bed are good, that's why men can't resist you?" Lu Zhe wanted to avenge Xiao Xia so much that his mind was clouded by hatred. Therefore, he didn't hate Hua Min at first. However, because he wanted to help Suyu, he suddenly hated him. Therefore, the words that came out of his mouth were extremely unpleasant. Hua Min already knew what he was thinking. He didn't want to argue with him. His face was calm and he had no intention of refuting. However, Lin Mingyu couldn't take it anymore. He subconsciously pressed hard on Lu Zhe's wound. "Aya, what are you doing? Don't you know how to be gentle?" Lu Zhe turned around and glared at Lin Mingyu. "You're a man. Why are you acting like a woman? If all the men in our country were like you, when we fought against the US and aided North Korea on the battlefield, wouldn't we have been laughed at by the US military? Really, hee. Mr. Forensic Doctor, have I offended you in any way?" Lu Zhe asked straightforwardly as he noticed Lin Mingyu's bad attitude. "No. Then why do I feel like you have something against me?" Lu Zhe narrowed his eyes at Lin Mingyu. "You're worrying too much. I've always done things by the book." Lin Mingyu's tone was completely formulaic. Lu Zhe couldn't do anything about it. His wound was hurting him, and he wasn't in the mood to continue scolding Hua Min. With Hua Min's EQ, she could tell that Lin Mingyu had purposely hurt Lu Zhe because he was mocking her. Hua Min suddenly felt that although Lin Mingyu looked cold, he actually had a good heart. Unfortunately, they couldn't be friends anymore. Hua Min wasn't a saint either. She wasn't going to be friends with every man who liked her. That would be unfair to Mr. Qin. Suyu, on the other hand, was an exception. To Hua Mian, Suyu was her and the twins' savior. Over the past few years, they owed each other a great debt of gratitude. She would never forget how the Su family extended a helping hand and took her in when she was at her most difficult time. 20 minutes later. Okay, it's done. Lin Mingyu took off his mask and let out a sigh of relief. Lu Zhe rolled up his sleeves impatiently. "Dr. Lin, what's the result?" Hua Min looked at Lin Mingyu anxiously. Chapter 2662. Let's talk outside. Why do we have to talk outside? Do you guys have some kind of secret? Why don't we talk here? When Lu Zhe heard that Lin Mingyu wanted to talk outside, he felt guilty for some reason. Therefore, he wanted to announce the results here. Lin Mingyu glanced at Hua Min, waiting for her opinion. "Then let's announce it here. I believe in Dr. Lin's fairness." Hua Min nodded. Lin Mingyu took off his gloves and said slowly, "Vice Director Hua's guess is correct. There is indeed something wrong with his wound." "What do you mean? Speak clearly. Don't try to slander me." Lu Zhe continued to yell. The knife wound that injured his tendons and veins was not caused by a fruit knife. If I'm not mistaken, it was caused by a limited edition military dagger produced by a German factory in 1997. That dagger was extremely sharp and could cut through iron like mud. The person who injured him was after his life. "What nonsense are you talking about?" Lu Zhe's expression changed. "Don't be hasty. I'm not done yet. On the surface of the wound, there is a superficial wound caused by a fruit knife. However, the fruit knife's wound is very shallow. It's not enough to cut through the tendons. Very good. Huamin nodded in satisfaction. It seemed that her guess was correct. But you can't say that Suyu isn't guilty just because he didn't cut my tendons. He tried to hurt me with a knife, so he's guilty of attempted murder. Lu Zhe was adamant that Suyu wanted to hurt him. Lin Mingyu glanced at Lu Zhe coldly and continued, that's the crux of the problem. Even though Suyu's fingerprints were on the fruit knife, Suyu didn't do it. That's impossible. How can you clear his name? There were only the two of us in the room. If he didn't do it, then did I do it myself? Lu Zhe refused to back down. That's right. You did it yourself. Don't forget that the angle and strength you use to cut yourself is completely different from the angle and strength other people use to cut you. I've been a forensic doctor for many years and have seen hundreds of thousands of knife wounds. I can do an experiment to verify this point, Lin Mingyu said calmly. You're lying. You've wronged me. Lu Zhe panicked. I've never wronged myself. I'm a qualified forensic doctor. Alright, Dr. Lin, I have a rough idea of the results. Thank you for your hard work. You're welcome. It's what I should do. I'll go back to the city bureau to write a report and submit it. Okay, let's talk later. Huamin politely said goodbye to Lin Mingyu. After Lin Mingyu left with his assistant, Huamin returned to the ward. Don't think that just a few words from a forensic doctor will be enough to clear Suyu's name. It's not that simple. Lu Zhe refused to admit defeat. Huamin only smiled faintly. What are you laughing at? Lu Zhe knew that Huamin was famous for being calm and quick-witted, so when she smiled like that, he felt a chill run down his spine. Let's not talk about this for now. Let's talk about the past. Lu Zhe didn't say anything. He simply glanced at Huamin. Your girlfriend is very pretty. Huamin said. Lu Zhe's expression changed slightly. He couldn't hide the panic in his eyes. What are you talking about? I don't have a girlfriend. The whole world knows that I'm single, Lu Zhe argued. If you say that, what would the late Zhao Xia think? Would she be sad? Lu Zhe's eyes widened as he stared at Huamin, but he couldn't say anything. You're tuning into the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.